here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there is nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of this nightmare, but when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now, to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try to leave. I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have the time to fight. If I walk tonight, I'm so tired tonight, I'm falling asleep when I'm home, when I'm gone. No way to go, no one that can see through at the side of the light. I can see my life is crap, I have to see them too. I just live into my world, far from the pain, the fear. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the start of hell, but when I stop to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now, to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. For tonight here, we have got the Icon Sim Sports Hometown Heroes, and we got something very special going on here tonight. And as usual, we got plenty of time to get everything out and talk about it because, we're starting this thing up. As we get set here for our Gambler Motorsports pre-race show here, and if a lot of people don't know who Gambler Motorsports is, they are a great esports team that runs a lot of great divisions there is in iRacing, which would be the dirt, sport, asphalt, oval, the endurance races, because iRacing does do a lot of 24-hour Daytona with the Le Mans and stuff like that here. So definitely check them out at Gambler Motorsports on Facebook. Well, the pre-race show here tonight, real quick before we go into our qualifying, guys, we've got something special here with the first responders tonight, and I think it's going to be really neat.
Yeah, we're really excited about it, Joe. A chance for us to kind of pay back to the guys. There's a number of guys in the league that are first responders, and inside the league or out. These guys do a great job day to day saving lives, and we hear too much in the press, the negative stuff, but there's some great people out there doing great work.
Absolutely. And we got a little video to show later on in the warm-ups, folks. Actually, some voices from some of the drivers that actually are some of the first responders. So that's kind of cool to see here tonight. But John, you still with us, John?
Yes, sir, I am.
Oh, okay, cool. Now, it's kind of fitting because maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't think I am. It's kind of fitting we're in the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show because isn't that part of your team?
Yeah, we got a good group of guys, and as you said a little bit before, we do all kinds of racing. We don't just stick here to the dirt ovals, but we do a lot of road racing and delve into all kinds of things that iRacing has to offer.
Yeah, got a lot of great disciplines out there, as some would probably say. And, well, folks, we're live tonight here, obviously, on the esports here on YouTube, GForce Esports, that is, and on iRacing Live. So, definitely what it does is basically transfers over to OSR Network on YouTube. So, yeah, actually, if anybody's over on that side, I need to bring my chat up, too, because you probably are. You'll see it live. But kind of gets it out there. If you're looking for a good league, check out the GForce Racing League on GForceRL.com. So looks like qualifying is still in practice. We got a little bit to go here. Maybe, well, actually, it's about coming to an end here right now. Any special things we got going on besides the first responders tonight? Oh, who won the Huggables? Who won? I know you did an announcement out there, Roger. So who finally who did win that one?
Yeah, and I got to go look at it. It was Tim Hope Templeton won. 5-year-old Hope Templeton won the Huggable, and she went to linshuggables.com and picked out her favorite, and she picked Minty. Minty was looking for a home, and so Minty's as happy as Hope is.
Oh, okay, great, awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, it ought to be a pretty good a deal. Hope, like you said, she's happy, man, with those. And if you're looking for one, go check out Lynn's Huggables. You can get them on actually linshuggables.com, I believe is what you said, and also on Facebook. So check them out, Lynn's Huggables. We talked about that last week. It was a great thing that we were doing there last week in the Hometown Heroes, and it's been a quite interesting series. And tonight we've also got something kind of unique and special. Normally our heat races are sponsored by different style sponsors. With our heat races tonight, though, each one of the first responders are going to sponsor one. So throughout the night you're going to hear different names sponsoring heats. As normally we'd have like an A&J Custom Creations Heat Race 1 or something like that. Tonight it's going to be more or less the first responder in the league. Drivers themselves will be sponsoring the heats and so forth. So kind of something neat to do it. And if you're a first responder out there, I mean an EMS, police, fire, or anything, and I understand the way the world is nowadays. A lot of people, man, are just, down on a lot of things. But hey, those people go out there and risk their life every day in a job that is very, very tough. My wife is actually certified EMT, and it's very hard to go through those classes to do it. And I know you got to respect them people to go out there, especially in danger of what they do. If you know somebody, if you are one, let us know in the chat out there. Love to hear from you and so forth. If you got a family member, it'd be great. But yeah, guys, it's gonna be a good night tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking here. We did even last weekend, just a full house, and the track's looking racy. They've got it worn in pretty good, so I think we're set for a fantastic night here.
Absolutely. Still got our pre-roast here for pre-roast. I'm thinking about food.
For dinner.
I'm looking for food. Yeah, so we got our pre-roast show going on, folks. So yeah, we got our Gambler Motorsports pre-race show here happening, and just talking a little bit of what's going to happen tonight here with the one. Got a lot of great things, coming up as far for the Hometown Heroes. I hope everybody's enjoying it so far. It's been like you all said, been a pretty good turnout as far as, driver-wise. Looks like we're probably going to have at least 2 mains here again tonight. We had that last week. Now, what saved us on being a long night, or, well, it's long anyway, but a longer, was the wild endurance race that we had last week. That was just crazy to watch. Free-for-all for 75 laps.
But yeah, and you didn't know where to look on the track. So many things are happening, and sure did look like a lot of fun. I
enjoyed it. It was crazy, chaotic, and thankfully I have all this telemetry over here because I'm like you, trying to keep up with back in 20th position, all tore up somewhere. But yeah, it was a crazy one here tonight. But again, that's a pretty good car counts here. Growing as far as tonight goes, which means that's awesome. To see these guys coming out here having fun throughout the field. Again, there's always room for more. Here's the thing. I kind of look at dirt, guys. It reminds me almost of what road racing is. NASCAR's NASCAR. NASCAR's usually 43 car field, and you're stuck. Now, obviously, they could have more, but you're going to have to qualify to get in. But most of the time, 43 car field, you're stuck. And that's usually all that shows up week in and week out. Now think about like on road racing, they could have 60, 80, 100 cars show up. Now, they can put 60 cars on a track if they want to because of multi-class racing. But the thing I like about dirt is you could have 100, 150, 200 cars. I mean, look at what it's a Chili Bowl has 300, 400 cars. And they break it all the way down to what, 24, 25 car field by the time features comes around. At the end of the night. So that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of cool what dirt can do, and it's kind of cool that there's in a nutshell there's always more room. We might have 40 some cars here, don't think that, oh man, they're full. Come on out, join, check out GForceRL.com. Hey, if you want to race, come on out here. But looks like we're going into our VMR Wraps qualifying session. That's a new sponsor here on board, VMR Wraps. I mean, if you just basically want to look good and you need an awesome paint for iRacing, they have several painters across the U.S. that specialize in multi-style paints. Definitely, they'll make you look good on the track, off the track. I call it kind of like a driver's license for virtual sim racing. Here you go. This is what I do. So check them out at VMR Wraps on Facebook. And also a couple weeks in, the standings is kind of shaping up a little bit. We usually run a league, manage a league. Definitely check out iRacing League Manager on Facebook and with it. And now all of a sudden I've got this car that I can't do anything with. It has less power. It feels like a Yugo on wheels out here around dirt.
Yeah, and it is, and especially on a night like this when we're running this and the 410, and the bigger shock is going from because this is the first night of the race of the night, so you're coming in, you can get really comfortable pretty quick. It's when they leave here and go jump in the 410 that they're going to get that whiplash and that big shock happens, and because all of a sudden your marks to turn into the corners change. Where you lift going into the corners change. Where you pick the throttle up coming out changes. I mean, all of a sudden, same track, but you're doing almost everything different from where you're steering to what your feet are doing. It all changes, and that's where running the same track probably does help a lot.
Absolutely, and that's what I was talking about with the 305s. Now, Roger, you mentioned something, and maybe I missed it, but our second race, because I know that changes. Are we doing 305s?
Gary Taylor. Gary, he's a neighbor of mine. He's a retired fire captain, served 34 years with the Hamilton and Dundas fire departments, and just a fabulous guy, helps out the league a lot and helped me out a lot in different aspects. But starting at the back, but he's used to driving a fire truck, so he only knows one speed.
Fast. Straightforward. Well, I tell you what, let's see if we can't get them gridded up right fast, really quick. Go through the lineup here as our heat race for Gary Taylor's about to kick off.
Okay, and on the pole we got Jeffrey Barker and Chris Schaefer. Row 2, current point leader Brian Moore Sr., and on his outside, Vanderbilt Racing's Jeremy Paulson. Row 3, we've got Vern Hawkins and Tom Gom. We're going to talk about him in Heat 3, I think. Real history there with first responder service. And then we've got Joshua Farnsworth, Gary Taylor, and looks like Chris Whipple.
Chris Whipple, that's it. All right, here we go. We're getting set to go green flag. Gary Taylor, heat race number 1. I'm about to get used to that. We call it Dave. So used to those. I mean, I've said sponsors for so long on this stuff here, but here we go. 305 wing sprints out here. Green flag, Cedar Lake. We're off and running here tonight for our Heat Race 1 first responders night here for the hometown heroes. And up front, they're already beating and banging. And you could do that for a little bit. I think you could get away with that more with the 305s than you can with any other one, just because of, I guess, lack of how the power and maybe a little more control. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I think you're right, and the heavy track here helps too. You're not going to move around as much, but you got Jeff Barker there in second, and then you got Gary in fourth. You got, Jeff was runner-up last time we run these things, and Gary's your point leader. So let's see how these guys come up as the heat race progresses here.
Got to keep in mind, top 4 go to the feature here. They're single file all the way back. You got Vern Hawkins hanging on in 5th. Brian Moore Sr. right there. Dad hanging on to the cutoff line. Josh Farnswell around in the back. Fernswell, my bad. I thought I said Farnswell. Fernswell right there in the back. Spinning out, unfortunately. But Heats don't have any cautions here. But still, Vern trying to tackle the back end. That tail tank there on Brian Moore. He's going to look to the inside, try to peek it. I don't know if he's got enough grip to get it done right now. It is early. You can see that cushion way down low. They're going to have to push that thing up against the wall a little bit to get it going.
Yeah, absolutely. He keeps setting them up and taking peeks there to try to get that final transfer position. But Brian's holding the line, not making any mistakes. It's going to be tough to make that pass with as early as it is, and with the track being still as tacky as what it is.
Absolutely. Still single file. You got Chris Schaefer out front. Jeffrey Barker there sitting in second. Jeremy Palsy up in the third. Brian Moore Sr. fourth. Vern Hawkins in the fifth. Tommy Gom right there sitting in sixth. Chris Whipple's moved up into the seventh place spot. And talk about Gary Taylor, who is the sponsor in this one. And just like that, that's how fast it is. We're going through the field, and guess what? We're over with. And it looks like the man right there in the fourth place is going to hang on. We're at heat race number 2. Bring up my notes right fast. Aiden Young. Well, I know Aiden Young very well. One of the great. He's going to be the title sponsor to this one tonight. Give us a little bit of info on Aiden Young, on the first responders. As I know he's a firefighter, but what's he got?
He's a firefighter with the Dalton Fire Department. Is that New Hampshire, John?
Yes, I believe it is.
Yeah, in New Hampshire. And Aiden is also Young Gun Creations is sponsoring the first responders night. So kudos to him. And this heat we got at the front, we got from Bixby, Oklahoma, Brendan Lacey on the pole. On his outside from Daniel Vaught, and then Matt Mateer. And from Washington State, Donovan Ross with SRC Racing Team. And here's one for you, Joe. Nathan, I think it's Krapazowski. And then the father of the winner, Brandon Templeton. And then we got Bob Curtis and Don Dory. And at the back of this field, we have 78-year-old Jim Bowie from Armstrong, BC.
Looks like Nathan, he's not going to get into this one, so not sure. As green flag flies, we're racing here for the Aiden Young Heat Race 2. Daniel Vault out front and Brendan Lacey right there. They're battling for that transfer spot. Matthew Mateer, is that right? Is it Mateer?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, well, we're going to roll with Mateer until I hear otherwise, and we'll see what happens. He's holding to the transfer spot right there. Battle's heating up for second place. Brandon Templeton right there on the fifth place. He's got to close it in a little bit more if he wants to get into the show, the feature, and doesn't have to run it the hard way tonight. But Donovan Ross looks like he's not happy with holding on the third there. He's trying to tear up the back end there of Lacey for a little bit.
Yeah, he's right hooked onto that bumper, and not a whole lot of daylight between them. He's just going to have to be patient here, and Brennan's one of those guys that doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. But while he's trying to size him up, Brennan's now attached to the bumper of the leader there, Daniel Vaught. So good racing here up front.
Absolutely. Right now, battle for the lead. You got Lacey looking there, trying to tag to the inside, maybe put a cool slider move on Vault. Justin out there, this is actually 305 wing sprints. They run multiple series tonight with the hometown heroes. You're going to see 410s and then the big blocks later on. So check it out at GForceRL.com. Right now, Vault's the man out front. He's got his hands full, though. Lacey's going to the inside for a slider. Oh, into the wall goes Lacey, though. He got up into the slick stuff there, I think, John, and that just threw that car up into the wall. White flag.
Yeah. I think, it could look like he got a little out of shape. It was hard to tell from here if there was a little contact or what happened over there. But bad luck for Brennan, though.
Yeah, Templeton's going to get the last transfer. Vault's going to win it here at the Aiden Young Heat Race 2. Heat it up real quick. Now Lacey, who was in it, is now going to have to run those consolation races. Wow, just like that, things can change. Puts us in our Heat Race number 3. Tom Gome.
I better get started on this early.
Go ahead. Tom Gome.
Tom Gome with the Rhinebeck, New York Fire Department. And that's not far from New York City, so that really rings a bell with 9/11 and all the rest of that. And but Tom is a third-generation firefighter, along with his 2 siblings. He holds the rank of captain. His brother also pulls double duty as a K-9 police officer, and his sister's an emergency medical technician. His father's a past chief of the fire department, and his mom is one of the first female firefighters in New York State, and both are still active. And he has 2 uncles. My uncles are all firefighters, and my grandfather was as well. How about that, man? That is amazing. So this heat here, the Tom Gome heat, we got on the pole from Coast to Coast Racing. My good old buddy Mike Cramner. Him and I are the Redneck Racing Team on Sunday nights with the Skippies.
Now, is that Mike or Prest?
That's Mike. That's
okay.
Mike this time. Preston's not racing.
Sometimes my ticker gets whacked.
Right on. And then we got Francis Boom Boom Major on the outside from Quebec, Texas Tornado Tom Taylor, and Garrett Pepiet. I'm telling you now, watch for Pepiet. Pepiet hasn't been out much in a while, but he is a hot runner.
I have not seen, you're right, I have not seen that name Pepiet in a while. It has been a good minute right now. He was fast when he was there. He's sitting in fourth place, up to third, battling out with Tom Taylor. They're 3 wide, going out of the turn right now, beating and banging a little bit. Got a car off. That's Carson Cherry. He went flying out the track, and then we talk about Offit. Gary over the fence. We were just watching him right there out of this one. Major's the man out front right now. Mike Kremer's hanging on the second, but he has got Pepiet tearing down his back end. We'll see, man, if Garrett's going to be able to throw a slide job on that inside. What's he got to do, John?
He's got to set him up and get a good run coming off the corner, and then beat him to turn 3 and slide him.
Is a slide job from what you've seen so far? Yeah, from what you've seen so far, are they going? Is the track set up enough to be able to put a good slide job on them right now?
Yes, it is. It's pushed off enough where you can go down there. Garrett took a swing at it this last turn. He's going to have to get back up towards his bumper, get a good run. My guess is we'll be coming out of 2 and slide him going into 3.
And Tom Taylor right there eating him up. He's sitting in the fourth. You see it right there. Pepiet moves right back in on Kremer. Just a little bit. They're going to go side by side. That's actual battle for second place. Now they go back single file. Here comes Lance Ripka, though. He wants that final transfer spot. That's an all-important spot right there as the battle's heating up for second. That could have, we just saw that in the last heat race here in the Aiden Young one, but this is Tommy Gom, heat race number 3 for us. Remember, the guy was sitting in second place, ended up outside looking in. Can Tom Taylor hang on to it for one more lap? He's got Lance Ripka there. He's going to be able to get it done. As Francis Major is going to put it in victory lane for the Tommy Gom, heat race number 3.
Boy, those guys were going for it this last one.
Yeah, good race.
Yeah.
And as we see, what's that?
I was just going to say, a tough start for Carson Cherry. This is first race out tonight with the league. He's got friends and family all watching, so hopefully he's going to probably start in the C, and he's going to have a lot of work to do, but wish him good luck.
Sometimes, man, you're good with the bad. We got Stephen Roy, heat race number 4 underway here. Tell us a little bit about him.
Stephen Waugh, he's from Quebec, so we give the Waugh treatment. Stephen Waugh is from Victoriaville, Quebec. Serves on the Victoriaville Fire Department and is a sprint car racer. Just bought a 360 and he's going racing this summer. So can't wait to see Steven out in the track, and hopefully I think he will get to Washweekend, so I'll get a chance to watch him.
And where would you get why?
That's the French way of saying that. It's Patrick Waugh, the old the goaltender
R-O-Y?
for the Montreal Canadiens.
R-O-Y is Roy down here in the USA.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, I get that, Joe, but
hey,
up here it's Waugh. So here we go with
Canadians, man.
And so here we go with the Heat 4. We got on the pole Field Miller, and on the outside Junior. We got Brian Moore Jr. On the inside, we got the Iron Man, Greg Boydell, with over 400 races in the iRacing League, GForce Racing League, and Zane Walters on his outside. Row 3, we got Andrew Smith, and from Kansas City, Missouri, Bob DeGood. We just had him on the Pitside podcast. One real interesting dude. If you didn't see that, Joe, you should. He was a dragster. His daughter was the national champion, junior champion. And then we got another Quebecois, Patrick Molte, PMD Designs. He does wraps. And Blake Chapman from Clarence, Iowa. And Nathan is the race official. He's a race official for this. He'll be racing the 410s.
We got to ask, though, Stephen, though, because that's going to be a debate between USA and Canada as word-wise there, because that's unique to me. I've never heard that pronounced that way. So that's learn something new every day, or don't learn something, but there you go. Unique. There we go. I got to say that. That's just unique. We're racing, folks, though. And we're already 3 wide. G.J. Boydell right there hanging on the 5th. Zane Walters up in the 4th. Andrew Smith there with it. Well, they're heating up for that 4th place final transfer spot. You got Blake Chapman outside looking in.
Yeah, he's trying to work the low groove. And
Him and his M&M's car. He traded in the Skittles for M&M's this season.
Candyman.
Candyman. That's right. Well, they got Andrew Smith right there in front of them. And him and Blake Chapman and GJ, they want that spot. Only one's going to get it. Both of them right now side by side. Neither one of them can kind of clear each other. So I know you were talking about that slider line coming in. Looks like it's kind of stuck right now. Maybe this is kind of dead even between the top and bottom.
It's hard for him to slide up in front of Boydell there with another car there, so you can't go anywhere with the slider. But it looks like Chapman's really got the bottom rolling really good. He's looks like he's keeping his RPMs up, which is allowing him to hang tough there, and he's doing it incrementally. But I think he's going to complete the pass there on the bottom.
Absolutely, and that was one thing that we talked about. You know, you talked about a lot of keeping that RPMs don't bog these cars down because of the low power. So we got the Stephen. You said Waugh?
Stephen Waugh.
Waugh. Okay, Stephen Waugh. If you see it spelled out there, it's spelled Roy, but we're gonna go with Waugh because that's what Roger says they say, man. That is cool.
Some excellent racing, all and they're
absolutely. Oh no, that's not what you want to see. Chapman, wrong place, wrong time.
Oh,
that was Phil Miller. Yeah, that was Phil Miller. He was up top. In the show, we seen that, and just like that, just like happened earlier, out of the show. Wow.
And I have been there and done that, and I'm telling you, that sticks with you.
Now, this heat race, you know, all fun and things aside, this heat race is probably going to be the one that will hit the hardest to a lot of these guys and a lot of people out there, because it's heat race number 5. We're going to do this one and dedicate this one to all the ones who have given their lives and in the line of duty as a first responder, and the biggest one that comes to mind is obviously got to be 9/11. That's a huge one. The first responders there, everybody knows what happened there, but so yeah, this one's our heat race number 5. So if you know someone, if you know someone in your family and all, this one here is dedicated to you. So who we got on the starting grid here, Roger?
And for this very special heat, we got on pole Jeff Flero from Ontario and Dan McLaren from Hamilton, Ontario. And then the mayor of Cedar Lake, Lane Snook, with Spartan Racing's Nicholas Vickery on the outside of row 2. And then we've got another Spartan, Kyle Parker, beside Anderson Bowen. And then Mike Shaughnessy with Zach Chapman and Aiden Young. I don't see him out here. He's listed.
He had a throughput, never regained, so he may be having an internet issue.
Well, I've always said, guys, and I've always said this, there's not a lot of things you can do. Sometimes internet, Mother Nature, computer problems, there's just some things just out of your hands, and it happens here all the time, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll get it back and he'll be able to get through the mains. We're racing, though, here tonight. Lane Snook, like you said, that's a name that has just been etched into the hometown heroes. And again, look at this. He's out front leading it already in this heat race here. He's shaking them down right now in this 305. Boom, up in the wall. Not sure who it was. Looks like Nicholas Vickery.
Yep.
Man, popped that thing hard, knocked him all the way back to 6. You got Kyle Parker there in second. He won the late models last week. Jeff Flero hanging on the 3rd. Anderson Bowen up in that final transfer spot there in 4th, but he's got company.
Oh, yeah, they are fighting hard for this transfer position. They don't want to go to the consies to try to press their luck. The last stuff are 4th, 5th, and 6th right there, being real aggressive with each other.
Problem with the consies here, fellas, and I think a lot of these guys need to start picking it up. I think they need to start picking it up in the heat, is because if we start having just a norm of 2 consolations like we've been having, a C and a B, with that C, there's only been, 4 or maybe 8 drivers out of all, let's say, 12 or so that go to the B main, and then from there, it's the same scenario. So your luck and your odds are not on your side by doing it. At least that's the way I'm looking at and viewing it.
You are 100% right.
Yeah, I would rather do heat race.
Right.
Yeah, I'd rather do the heat race.
There's
if
a lot of
anything.
there's a lot of things that can happen out of your control. You saw the prior heat race where Mr. Miller lost the back there and caught up. That's something that Chapman couldn't control. Those things happen all the time. So you want to get in there and punch your ticket to the big show.
Oh, and right there, you just saw it. Nicholas Vickery came out of the last turn, got that final transfer spot, made the pass, and punched his ticket into the feature here. We got, talking about it here, C main. Now, Roger, we had 4, so I'm going to tell you that we are going to have 8 go to the B. Is that right?
We had 5
Right, so we're going to have 4.
We only got 4, so we've got 14 in the C main.
That's what I'm talking about.
4 of them will transfer, and they'll go to the back, and there'll probably be a dozen. So we're maxed out here, Joe. I know you were saying you can take 6 cars, but we set it at 45. We got 45 cars here.
Oh,
tonight.
okay. Well, you're going to have to up that number. I mean, you keep going, you're going to have to up that number.
We'll and start paying you overtime because we'll be going all night long. It's just going to get crazy.
Hey, there you go. I mean, that'd be awesome. Maybe make the night really awesome. But I'm with you. We go through this grid really fast because here's going to be interesting, like you said, with only 4 going to B.
Yeah, so on the pole, we got Chris Whipple and Don Dory. Second row, John Rayner and Bob DeGood, 2 retreads, a couple of buddies of mine. And then row 3, Anderson Bowen and Gary Taylor. So they've all got their work. They're starting well, but we'll see. And then we got, that 78-year-old Jim Bowie. He's hanging in, man. And Gary Offit. And then Field Miller, you spoke about, he's got he's a hot shoe, and he's got a long way to go. We got Mike Shaughnessy, Joshua Farnsworth, Nathan Krapczewski. I don't know if he made it or not.
No, it didn't look like Nathan or Aiden made it, so evidently the computer problem's acting up on him there. So
well, we got Carson Cherry. So he's got a long way to go. He could be the hard charger if he can make this feature. That would be a major accomplishment. So good luck to him.
It's tough. I mean, you're already on a car that doesn't like to pass. You're on a track that's very, right now that's not been very good to pass on. We have seen some wild stuff at the end happen. So starting from the back like he is, even with Field Miller back where he is, I mean, Field's got to be kicking himself. He had that thing in the bag going to the feature, and then the last final laps just made a huge mistake, and now he's finding himself having to race his way in. 4 drivers here in the C main are going to go. We'll see what happens as the green flag flies. You got Chris Whipple up front, but just like that, when they're beating and banging, that's what you don't want to do. And just like John Rayner, guess what? John, he was in the show, now he's 9th place. Just like that can happen very quick. And Field Miller, guess what? Sitting in 4th.
Yep. When this is a gotta go time, you got 4 that go, 10 go home, and it's the aggression picks up, and you just kind of got to go for it at this point.
And I don't blame him. You talk about Carson Cherry, he's up down to 8th place. He's battling it out too. So that wreck just like that put him right there in I'm going to say the catbird seat to be able to get this thing done and get up there tonight for this C main here for the Hometown Heroes, our first responders here tonight. Title sponsor ought to be a good one. Field Miller, he's in a battle with Shaughnessy. How'd you say that? Is that right? Shaughnessy. Well, that's close. Bad. Oh, but never mind. We were talking about it. It's your fault, Roger. Anyway. Yeah. We'll blame that on Roger.
Got a little bit of those tires there, and it turned him right on around.
Yeah, absolutely. Normally the tires down here on this track's not too bad. You can kind of go over them a little bit, but if you hit them in the wrong angle. Field Miller, though, there's a guy that's really bounced back. Now, one thing he wants to watch out for here, you might want to be aggressive, but at this point in time, and you see, look who's it. Are you kidding? Carson Cherry now in the transfer spot of 3. Field Miller is leading the race. Who would have thought? You pretty much just inverted the field right now.
Yeah, I'm sure Field is sitting there. Field's probably got a real big grin on his face right now.
And now's the time where, you wanted to be aggressive before, but you better be patient. Just hang on to it right now. Don't do anything crazy because you're in the show going to the B main. You're still going to have one more. Actually, no, this will actually throw him to the A main, wouldn't it? Would it throw it to the A, or y'all doing the...
Oh, he'll go to the B.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. All right, my bad. And sometimes that's where dirt racing's kind of wild. Sometimes they'll let them go straight to the A main. Sometimes they'll let the guys in the back race it out in the B. But Field Miller's going to win it. Carson Cherry is going to get in third. Josh Farnsworth is going to end up in the fourth and last transfer. If you was a betting person, boy, I tell you what, you just came out of this race awful rich, because that was some big odds right there for those guys. As we're heading into our B main here tonight, that is SBGC 3D Printings, SBGC3D.com. Folks, we're going to see a cool video during the intermissions of the shows while we're changing servers. That's going to show you actually what these guys can do. So check them out at SBGC3D.com. Printing is the B main sponsor here. Who we got on the starting line, Roger?
Well, we just had 14 cars sent 10 home, and we got the same thing here. 14 cars, another 10 are going home. That's the unfortunate part of these big turnouts. I want to just thank all the drivers for coming out. But on the pole, we got Vern Hawkins on the outside, Brendan Lacey from Bixby, Oklahoma, then Lance Ripka and Patrick Malte, Dan McLaren and Tom Gom, Bob Curtis, Wyatt Whipple, Blake Chapman way back there with Zach. I guess Zach isn't there. Field Miller's there. Bob DeGood. We're into the last transfers. Bob DeGood, Carson Cherry, and Joshua Farnsworth along the field. So they showed Carson showed last time it can be done. So let's see what happens.
You know, you hate to say it on this way, man. They came through the field like you did, but boy, it is a tough task to get it done, to do it. Brendan Lacey's out front. You got Vern Hawkins there, but everybody, like we said, is going to get aggressive on this restart, and when they do, they start beating and banging just like that in the back. You got Bob Curtis around, several cars. Field Miller, though, he got a little bit hung up on that one, and then just got hung up right there, so not the start he wanted. Carson Cherry's the man who got through it a little bit better. He's up to 7th, so he's only got a couple more. Blake Chapman outside looking in. Lance Ripka outside looking in. Field Miller outside looking in. Zach Chapman outside looking in. Those some heavy hitter names. Don't want to take anything away from all the drivers, but those names right there, Roger, John, that's some heavy hitter names outside, might be missing tonight's race.
Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier how important it is to get a good qualifying, get a good place in the invert, and get out of that heat race and into the A.
Absolutely. Right now, Lacey's the man out front. He's got that high line on the cushion rumbling. Maltese right there. Am I saying that right? Maltese? I can't get the French part of it right, like Roger can. Roger can make it sound oh so smooth with that Frenchness. I'm sorry, folks. Saying that.
It's Malte. My guess is it's Malte with the S being
Malte,
silent.
okay. All right, that'll work. Malte. We'll go with Malte, yeah. Roger's got that fluidness in the French. I can't get it. I'm sorry. I'll try. I got we down pat. Dan McLaren, though, he's right there on the inside trying to put a slide job on him. Lance Ripka sitting in the 4th and final transfer spot. Now, he's got Blake Chapman right there. Chapman's going to have to get a lot closer, though. Time's running out here. Chapman's trying that high line. We've not seen really a lot of people, utilize that tonight. But right now, he just looks kind of at a stalemate. He can get a good run going into the turn. He just can't get that run. Usually it's kind of opposite. You see the run coming off instead of run going in.
Yeah, you can drive these cars really hard into the corners, and they will stick, especially as much tack is still up on the top of the track between the slick and the wall.
There he went. He made it. He switched it up, went down low, but here comes Lance Ripka. That's two heavy hitter names as Vern Hawkins is outside looking in, and Vern was up front there for a few, and now I don't know where Vern's going. He says, heck with it, I'm going to pits. Checkered flag. And guess what? Blake Chapman got that final transfer spot. That brings us in our warm-up. Boy, I tell you, what an exciting night this has been so far with the 305s here, folks. We got our Icon Sim Sport intermission. Got some special things going to happen here in this intermission for you. Icon Sim Sports, check them out at iconsimsports.com. If you're looking for a rig that is built for you, I think that's the one thing that makes them stand out. They built it, and it'll be like the realest thing that you've ever seen, felt, and had, or actually put you like in the cockpit of a real race car. Check them out at iconsimsports.com. We're at GForce Racing League here tonight. check that out. If you're looking for a good league, I just said, hey, we got room for many more. We got a good packed field here, but come on out, check us out. They got it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and actually throughout the whole entire week. So check it out at GForceRL.com. Want to give a shout out to Justy Sick iRACING Photos, driver of the week here this week. New sponsor coming on board, Justy Sick iRACING Photos there. And then obviously, folks, we're on a multitude of platforms tonight, but hey, we're on the GForce Esports on YouTube. Hit the likes and the shares. If you want to see great racing on the GForce Esports on YouTube, they have it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights. But man, tonight we're on a multitude. We're on the Esports. We're on OSR Network on YouTube, Facebook. We're on iRacing Live. So definitely, I always say pick your poison out there. Got a lot of great things. We're going to do two things here real quick, as you know, those are awesome sponsors coming out on board. But we're going to play a video here from some of the great, some of the guys here in the league of the first responders, and let you meet who these guys and girls are. We'll be right back after this.
Number 34, my old station number. I live in Brantford, Ontario. I am a retired fire captain from Dundas and Hamilton Fire Departments, respectively, with 35 years service.
Hi guys, here Stephen Aware, number 41, and I'm firefighter for the city of Victoriaville.
Aiden Young, driver of the number 69, Gambler Motorsports, Inside Groove Sprint Car. Currently a firefighter at Dalton Fire Rescue.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right,
I don't
folks,
know.
we're back. Hey, that's right. Hey, we're back here, and I hope you enjoyed that. I love the national anthem there because it's fitting, really, really fitting for what we have here with the first responders, folks. And obviously, got to throw the national anthem in there too. Got to have the respect. I got a Canadian one too there, so we'll get that in here tonight for you. But good to hear some words from a lot of the first responders here in the league. I like that too. That was nice and good to hear. But we're at Icon Sim Sports featured tonight, iconsimsports.com. Go check them out. Roger, you with me?
Yep.
All right.
So no time to interview the drivers there, so I sent them back into their vehicles. They got strapped up and they're out there. Chris Schaefer on the pole with Daniel Vaught. Row 2, Francis Boom Boom Major and Brian Moore Jr. Row 3, a young guy and a veteran, Lane Snook and Jeff Barker. Then we got Matt Mateer and Garrett Pepiet. Watch for him. Zane Walters, Kyle Parker, Jeremy Paulson, Donovan Ross, Tom Taylor, Andrew Smith, Jeff Flaro, Brian Moore Sr., and then Brandon Templeton, Mike Cranmer, G.J. Boydell, Nick Vickery, Brennan Lacey, Patrick Malte, and I'll let you take it away, Jim.
Well, I tell you what, green flag, and you want mayhem. You're about to see it. Look at this, 4 wide already in the middle of the pack, and that's just like we talked earlier. You got to be aggressive, and there's still 3-4 wide all the way back. You've got to get what you can get early on. It just amazes me when they can do a little bumping and banging with these little carts out here, and up front they get tangled. This is going to be a mess. Not quite sure who it is. Actually, it's Andrew Smith's around. And no caution. But I'll tell you what, let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay and watch. Andrew Smith, I don't think, was the one who actually started it, but he got involved in it. It actually started right up there up front. One car upside down. And you know what, guys? I'm amazed that did not, I guess it's because of the way they flipped, iRacing did not sling a caution on that. That's, wow.
Yeah, that was
they
really
did finally.
surprising. But I'll tell you, that was lucky that wasn't a lot bigger than what it was. You saw a lot of guys lift, and that if the guys don't lift, that becomes a much bigger wreck.
It finally did, but at first I was like, wow, it's just amazing. It did not throw it. And you're right. It almost reminds me of a wreck at Talladega. You know, it's not if, it's when the big one's going to happen at that track. That's what we always say. Because, you know, just a car gets loose in the front of the pack, guess what? You've got 20-some cars that wrecked. And right there was a perfect example. About as close as you can get on dirt. Them guys were 3 and 4 wide. Nowhere to go on a little small track like this. Next thing you know, it's a pile up, a traffic jam. But most guys got through it pretty good. Daniel Vault's the man outside. Francis Major's there sitting in second. We got Brian Moore Jr. We saw Senior earlier on doing well. He's back in the 9th place spot. So here we go, getting the line back up to go back green. Excuse me, folks. I apologize. I have my cough every once in a while. Allergy season. You got to love springtime. I don't know how you gentlemen are, but pollen is a killer out there. So getting set for green.
Daniel got a nice jump there on that start. It's going to give him a little breathing room as they go through 1 and 2. But boy, mid-pack on beyond. Oh, we got more around, and
they're flipping.
Yeah,
wow.
They are.
Let's see who started this one in the back. That should throw the yellow.
Yeah, yellow's up.
I was going to say it should throw.
I don't know who it was, but somebody got loose, and it was on from there.
Oh yeah, like Jeremy Halsey. Might have been the first one involved. So let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay here and watch. We saw him flipping upside down, and yeah, it looks like a little contact there on the front back stretch, and then next thing you know, it's just mayhem and carnage on the track, and there's really just nothing you can do. You just hang on for the ride at that point there, John. You know, you just try to avoid them, you know, and there's just not a lot you can do.
At that point, everybody being packed up right that close to a restart. And another thing, too, I'm looking at the track conditions here, and this is what the track has looked like the first couple of weeks at the end of the race. These guys are starting on a real slick track from the get-go. So this is where you were talking earlier about the shock to the system. These guys are having to adjust here, and they need to be working their their wings, pulling them back, tightening the car up, doing whatever they need to do. It'd be a little easier with the throttle to get these laps going.
Absolutely. What's up, Joe? Joe Halter, how you doing out there, man? No problem. I tell you what, it's good. And I know I like yelling out those Icon Sim Sports rigs y'all got out there, because I know y'all build them for big, tall, big, little, small, little, just every kind of size you can keep up right there. It's awesome. Right now, Daniel Vault's out front. Brian Moore Jr. sitting in second. Francis Majors hanging on the third. Zan Walters there in the fourth. Lane Snook, I'll tell you what, we ain't really talked about him much tonight. He's been kind of quiet here, but right now he is firing on all 8 cylinders. He is right there in the 4th place. He has been pretty much Mr. Hometown Hero here on Wednesday night. I mean, you can basically say this has been his show for the past several weeks so far. And right now, he's going to split the needle right there in the middle. He's going to, well, let me rephrase that, thread the needle. As it cautions out, Blake Chapman around. Uh-oh, somebody ran over the M&M's car. See what happened to him here on the Malcolm Mills replay, guys. Right there, and yep, looks like somebody did run over the M&M's car. They got hungry. Wow. So can you believe it here, John? I'm going to tell you, Lane Snook. Just every time if you just turn your head, you look back, here comes that young man just out of nowhere. Yeah, and kid is good. There's no doubt about it. He's got a couple of good guys, though, in front of him here with Moore and Malte and Brennan Lacey and Vaught. All these guys have been having a good season in here, so I'm hoping, or at least I'm hoping to see some good racing here, because I think he's going to have to work for it if he's going to get up there this time. You know, and we got 410 and big blocks. I'm not sure how well he is in the big blocks. We've seen him come up pretty strong in the 305s here late. Remember the first of the season, the first race, he said it was not as comfortable, but then he after that just kind of got in his own zone there. Super late models is probably the one that he says he's definitely not comfortable with. But watch how well he does with those big blocks, 410s. I might have to sit here and say, might have to come up with something on these races about him. And I don't know, the kid's fast, but I can't take anything away from guys like Daniel Vault, Brian Moore Jr. Got to look at him coming up here tonight. Good run he's having in second. As the green flag flies, we're back racing. You got Francis Majors right there. He's sitting in the 3rd place. Brennan Lacey, they're 3 wide up top. Snook's going to try the high line on the cushion. He's got it for the moment. He's rumbling to the front with Vault sitting outside. You've got Brian Moore Jr. getting shuffling all the way back, though he did not get the start that he wanted. They are still 3 and 4 wide in the mid-pack. Yeah, they are all over the track. Now it's starting to look like Lane's got that top rolling. Daniel needs to get up there and give that a whirl if he can, or he's gonna give up the lead here pretty quick. Absolutely. Good racing going on here right about 6th, 7th, 8th place spot. In the meantime, that's Zane Walters, Jeff Valero, Malte right there sitting in the 10th place. And Mateer, is that right? Matthew Mateer? I believe so, yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, we got a car going off into the grass. I'm not quite sure who it was. He came back up. Mike. Was that Mike? No, yep. Donovan Ross. He did a little landscaping there. He did. Went out there and weeded a little bit. Battles on for the lead. Snook's up top there. Oh, Chris Schaefer around in the back. We're still going green right now, though. So we'll watch this battle happening up front here between these two. You got Daniel Vault holding off that young man there of Lane Snook. Snook's taking the top side cushion. We call it a wicked cushion. Down low, though, taking the bottom side. Normally, I'm used to seeing the bottom get a good drive going into the turn, not so much coming off. Tonight, looks like that high lane's getting the drive going in, but it doesn't get the total bite coming off. Lane's been able to rotate pretty good off the turn, but it seems like the low line tonight, John, is the place to be coming out of the turns. Just kind of flip-flop, but there again, Snook takes the lead. Yeah, and there's a nice little strip coming out of the corners. If you're low enough, you get all 4 tires on there, you get a bite, and you can get a pretty good launch. Daniel's just above that right now, but yeah, Lane's up front, and it's going to be tough to catch him at this point. Absolutely. Daniel Vault right now. Lane Snook taking over the top spot. Let's go back a little further here, about the 6th, 7th, 8th place spot. Actually go back to 10th because they're 2 and 3 wide back here. You got Matthew Brian Moore Sr. there, Kyle Parker. Kyle's not been able to get the handle on these 305s. He's got his front wing knocked off of that thing. It's definitely going to make it even more harder to drive this one. Actually, his whole hood is going on the front side of it. But, yeah, he's just not been able to get the handle on these 305s. And not like he can when it comes to like the super late models or the 410s out there. But one more lap, one more time around. It's all Lane Snook out of 3 and 4 for the final time. Daniel Vaught's going to try to dive it down, but Lane Snook is going to win the Icon Sim Sports 305 Hometown Heroes First Responders Night. And, well, I guess I could say it like this. Who knew? Yeah, I mean, go figure. That young man. You might as well just start calling him Mr. Hometown Hero because he has just dominated this series so far.
Oh, Roger's been calling him the mayor of Cedar Lake, so that's I think Roger's on to something there.
He definitely is. Pretty much the president. He might as well throw in the president part too, because he is dominating. It's just been a phenomenal performance there by him. You know, once you just start feeling confident, you know, you ride that train as long as you can. That's how you do it. So let's see if we can. All right, folks, let me see if I can get my words out right here. That just didn't make no sense what I just said. Let's see if we can't get the third place man up here. Which one y'all want to talk to him? Francis Major.
He's a Canadian, so I'll grab.
All right, we'll bring up Francis here. Let's get a word with him.
Francis. Bam Bam Major. I thought it was Boom Boom Major.
It's a Bam Bam.
Bam Bam. I gotta get that straight. Congratulations, buddy. Great run tonight.
Thank you so much.
And I want to deviate a little bit here. In the outside world, you don't race 305s. You race do tractor pulls. You got some mean looking machines that you run.
Yeah, normally I'm running tractor pulls, but on iRACING, I love big block modified 358s and sprint cars.
Very good, man. And are you in the A division? Will you be with us later tonight?
Yes, I move right now on 410, and I'm going with the 358s, or I've modified 2 tonight, so I go with that.
Well, hopefully we get to talk to you a few more times. How'd you find it out there tonight?
I love the track, and I love the GForce Racing. It's a very good association, and the guys is run clean, and I love the guys.
That's awesome, buddy. And anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I would like thanks my buddies, Cowboys and Jan from Robertson Plus Mechanics, and Vaillant Auto Sports, L'Expert La Remorque, PMD Wraps for my wraps. And RDA container. That's everything. This guy to help me out to go on the first position and do good, run good every week.
Okay, congratulations, buddy, and good luck in the next race.
Thank you so much.
There we go, Francis Majors. And I tell you what, before we go to our second guy here real quick, Justin out there, you're junior out there, you're right. Some of these guys are from Canada or the Canadian area and U.S. And, you know, you're going to see a diverse on the translations and how the talk and whatnot. So it's really awesome to see. But second place man here tonight, Daniel Vaught. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Daniel, how are you, man?
Oh, I'm good. I'd probably be feeling a little bit better if I had won it, but you know, hey, second's good.
Yeah, excellent run. You had a nice draw for your heat race. You won that heat race. Walk me through the feature. You know, they had that bottom going until about the five to go. It started giving up on you a little bit. It looked like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I should have moved my wing back there with probably about 7 to go and tighten the car up a little bit. I think I was over rotating and losing a little bit of momentum. But, you know, hey, this is my best ever GForce finish, and I got beat by Lane, and there's nothing wrong with that. He ran me clean, and I felt like it was a good race.
Yeah, You look sharp. I didn't see you make really any mistakes out there. He just had that top rolling a little bit better, but your best GForce finish. That's awesome, man. I am really happy to see that. Who would you like to thank to that got you up here?
Well, I'd like to thank the league first, and I'd like to thank Gambler Motorsports and Epsilon Sprint Wraps for the wrap, and I'd like to thank you and Roger and Steven and Aiden and everybody at Gambler, and I'd like to send a special shout out to all the volunteers right now giving out vaccines to the folks. Really important job that's being done, and I got my vaccine today, and I feel real good about it, and it was mostly.
I cut out a little bit, but outstanding, Daniel. Once again, congratulations on your run.
Thank you, John. Have a good one.
Sure.
There we go. Second place man, Daniel Valdi had it right there, but the young man snuck up there again here. This time around was a good run. Lane Snook, I'm going to tell you, that kid has done nothing but tear it up. Lane, enjoy the booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Well, I got to ask, are you getting tired of winning?
No, it never gets old.
I tell you, well, you know, Roger said you're the mayor. I think we're going to progress you up to just being the president of Cedar Lake because you're just dominating this place so far. And Mr. Hometown Hero himself here, how did you feel? Because we really wasn't talking much about you. The next thing we knew, we looked up and there you was. So how were you feeling early on the race? It didn't look like your qualifying efforts were as good as what we saw in the past.
Well, I couldn't. I got a new steering wheel on Monday, and my wing adjustment got unset somehow, and I couldn't hear the car, so all my settings were screwed up. And I think that was some of the reason. I don't know if I would have got pole still, but I think I could have been a lot better if I would have put my wing forward some instead of having it trunked.
In other words, what you're saying is you went out here with a bad setup, inadequate equipment, still whooped up on the guys, and once you do get everything, that pretty much these guys should just stay home?
I don't know. These guys been getting me a run for my money lately, so they're definitely getting better.
I tell you,
it's been really fun racing these guys.
That's what I was about to say. It's fun been watching all you guys out there and the good competition that it is. So you did really well here tonight. Really quick, who you got to thank for tonight for this win here for the first responders and the 305s?
I got to thank all the first responders for keeping us all safe, and all my sponsors at Velocity Designs, Mandy Boat Racing, Jesse, Brandon's, Goldner, Moonin, Lacey, JP, Fitzy, Dirt Doctor Trucking, Bow.com, Powerhouse Motorsports, Wagman Brothers, you guys for the broadcast, Roger and them for putting this league on, Universal Sediment Service, Jacko and Howard Associates, Keystone Alliance, KKP, Keys Recording Products, Fox's Pizza Den, Mexico Ridge Beef Farm, Snook Dirt Designs, and the Old Hatchery.
I'll tell you what, there you go. Get ready for the 410s. That's where we're headed to next. Again, congratulations, Darlene.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, I tell you what, we're going to head out of here real quick because we got to go switch it on over to some 410s. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here in just a few.
It all starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 60 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool Rain, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
From finding the perfect house to making it your home, we'll be with you every step of the way. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Friday night excitement weekly from Washington Speedway. And watch the stars of tomorrow make it easy themselves tonight's live by Spring Racing. GForce TV is also the home of Rivals Race Chat. And Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForce TV racing leagues. GForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForce TV.
All right, folks, we're back here. We got some 410 racing here tonight for the hometown heroes, first responders. It was an exciting one there with the 305s early on, so hope to enjoy it. We got our Gambler Motorsports pre-race show that we'd had earlier. Definitely check those guys out on Facebook, Gambler Motorsports. They are a great esports racing team that do a lot of disciplines throughout. Obviously, we want to give a shout out to iRacing League Manager for our standings here tonight. Check them out at iRacingLeagueManager.com, because if you own a league, do a league, run a league, check them out. But we're in the VMR Wraps qualifying session. You want to look good on the track, off the track, or anything on iRacing, check out the VMR Wraps on Facebook. They will definitely get you a custom paint job that will make you stand out above the rest. Right now, man on pole, Donovan Ross, quick time up top. I said earlier, I appreciate all the viewers out there. Hit the likes and shares. We're on a multitude of platforms. Normally, we're on just one or two. Tonight, we're on about 3 or 4 here tonight. But I see Dustin out there says, he's loving the racing. I'm a volunteer firefighter from upstate New York, the youngest in his department. I like that. If you got family members, we're celebrating the first responders tonight, not only just in the league, but throughout the world in general. And that's it's always awesome. Those guys do a wonderful thing job-wise. Very, very demanding and hard job to do. They get a lot of criticism for what they do, but yet, hey, we thank them day in and day out for being there and doing it. So definitely enjoyed it. And one more bit of advice. Not advice, but info we just got right out here. Joe Halter said, hot off the rumor wire, Icon, since we're here tonight for the Icon Sim Sports Hometown Heroes, but obviously being the first responder night, Icon took a big step forward with the full turnkey rigs this morning. They have secured a partnership. I can't even say the name of that thing. Husqvarna pedals. Anyways, they're high-end pedals, folks. Let me just say that. And definitely want to thank them for that. But looks like we're in our heat race number 1. A little different for the heat races here, so I have to bring up my list here. Gary Taylor, heat race number 1. We're actually honoring the first responders here tonight for the heat races.
Yeah, and, Gary Taylor, retired captain with the Hamilton and Dundas Fire Department with 34 years of service. So on the pole, we have AJ Albreda and Brian Moore Jr. Second row, Garrett Pepiet and Donovan Ross. Some great runners in this one. Jeff Barker and Chris Steele, 2 guys that used to run Mod Lights side by side, used to pit crew for each other. That's kind of cool. And then Barry Goldner and Chris Whipple.
Absolutely. As you can see here, we're heat race number 1 for Gary Taylor. And Chase, anyone in the league able to race? I believe so. Roger, is anyone in the league able to race this Hometown Heroes?
Yeah, so the next race is limited to it because we have multiple divisions, and it's the A division. It's only the A division and the top 10 from the B division run tonight. But yes, the 305s and the 410s. Next week we got, I think it's the jumpy trucks, the pro lights coming in, and they're eligible for all of those. So come on out and join us. GForceRL.com. The application button is right there. Fill it out, and as long as your iRating is below 2,500, come on in. We're glad to have you.
There you go. There you go, Chase. Check it out. GForceRL.com. Green flag flies. AJ Albared. Is that how you said it?
Albreda.
All right.
That's how I say it.
Hey, Albreda, I'll go with it. Sounds good. Albreda out front, having a good start there, along with Pepiot sitting in second. We saw him earlier on. Now, these are the 410s. They might look the same. They definitely don't sound and drive the same. You got a lot, massive more power here, so you're going to see a little bit more sliders happening with these machines out here than what you did with the 305s early on. Donovan Ross hanging on the third. Chris Steele right there. He's got the real steel machine hanging on to the 4th place final transfer. Remember, the top 4 go to the feature. Chris Whipple outside looking in. That's SBGC 3D man himself. Jeffrey Barker hanging on to 6. Barry Goldner there in 7. And Brian Moore Jr. hanging on to 8th place. A little bit more spread out here, John, than what we saw with the 305s, because these are more of a beast on the track.
Yes, it is. And these guys got the full power down, and they're just holding on to these things as they get around the track right now. It looks like they're feeling it out, and they're already pushing the line up the track. So I would expect it to be racy here before too long.
Absolutely. Brian Moore Jr. unfortunately turning it around. He's in the pits right there, so he's going to have to run the numbers here tonight for the CMB main, which is becoming a norm here at the Hometown Heroes. White flag out front. Albreda. I think I just messed that up again. Is that right? Is that right, Roger?
Yeah, I believe.
Okay.
You got it.
Albreda. Sounds good.
AJ,
AJ, yeah. All right, well, yeah, that's usually what I go with, first name. He won the first one here for the Gary Taylor. Chris Steele is going to come into the final transfer spot there as we're heading off in a heat race number 2. That's going to be Aiden Young here tonight, and he's actually in this heat race here as we're getting set to grid him up.
Yeah, that's really cool that Aiden's in his own race, just like Gary Taylor was, and he's on the front row on the outside. If you can get a rear chase shot of his wing as he's going around there, Joe, he's got a great tribute paint job done. And on the pole, another tongue twister for you, Mason Meyer, and I'm thinking I'm saying that right, but it's row 2, Brennan Weeks and Stephen Goldner. And then row 3, Jeremy Paulson, Chris Schaefer, and then Tom Taylor and Jeff Flaro. We got a lot of good runners in this one. Steve Goldner, 3-time winner of the Renegades division.
If you click on the stream that I'm doing here in Discord, you'll see what it looks like there, Roger. So there you go. Gives a good shot of what he's got. Says, thank you, first responders. Stay safe. Aiden Young, by the way, folks. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, Aiden's a good guy. He's on our course, so I am rooting here for him.
Hey, and he's good. I mean, I've known him for a while, since I've started a lot of broadcasting back in the day, and he started, I noted a lot from the asphalt side of things, and now he's transferred over here to the dirt side. Raced with Michael Redding a lot and so forth. Those guys came over, but definitely, like I said, good guy. He's out front. Green flag flies. You got Stephen Goldner. Well, we haven't heard him tonight, but man, I'm gonna say Stephen Goldner, the high line man, because he loves sticking to the high lane of just about anything he's in. If there's a wall and a cushion, he's going to try to put that thing up there. Right now, he's already driving it up there in third place. You got Brennan Weeks hanging on the fourth. Jeremy Paulson right there in the fifth place, outside looking in. So remember, top four go to the feature here tonight. The rest of them are going to have to run the alphabet soup later on.
Yeah, and top three or top four, they're looking pretty content right now, and just getting in the show. We saw a lot of guys in the 305s get up there in those transfer spots and then find trouble. These guys seem to be being pretty careful around each other right now.
Got to with these machines, you get up there and you start beating and banging, you got a little more power, you're a little bit more out of control with this high, so you don't see as much tagging with each other, because a little bit of contact and you're going to get sent around. You got a lot of power. Yeah, you really, I think it looks that way as opposed to 305. Well, maybe a little more planted, I would say, is the reason why you can hit each other a little bit. Right?
Yeah, when you touch each other in these, there's a much bigger penalty than the 305s, and just because you're traveling at a much higher rate of speed, not a whole lot of forgiveness there.
And it looks like Heat Race 2. Aiden Young's going to come home in second, and Mason's going to bring it home in the lead. Stephen Goldner third. Brendan Weeks is going to bring the final transfer spot. That hooks us up in a heat. What's that?
Let's say they made that one interesting.
Yes, they did. Tom Gome right there is going to bring our heat race number 3 here tonight. Tell us a little bit about him.
Tom Gome from the Rhinebeck Fire Department, Rhinebeck, New York, third-generation firefighter, along with his 2 siblings, holding the rank of captain. His brother pulls double duty as a K-9 police officer, and his sister's an emergency medical technician. And his father was a past chief of the fire department, and his mom was one of the first female firefighters in New York State, both still active. Plus, his uncles are firefighters, and grandfather. Like, that is a real legacy and something to be proud of for sure, man. So anyways, after reading all that, we're almost ready to start this heat. So we got on the pole Ben Kelch and Dan McLaren from Hamilton, Ontario. Chris Forsyth from Fort Worth, Texas, on the inside of Lane Snook. And Zach Chapman from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. That's an awesome place. And on his outside, Lance Ripka. And then we've got Andrew Smith, and Carson Cherry came back for more. Must have enjoyed his time in his first GForce race, and he's back here for more.
Looks pretty good. Tom, let me know. You said which audio is it? Yeah, okay, so now Kemp says everything sounds like, okay, because all my meters are green and going, so they're not jumping up and down. That's why I was asking. Just let me know. Maybe something I can fix. Maybe it might be an internet thing, server-wise. Who knows? Kelch, I believe is how you said it. Kelch, that's right. I don't know why I want to say him Kelch so bad, but Kelch out front here leading it. McLaren hanging on the second. Forsyth right there in the third place spot. Lane Snook already in trouble. Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you what, we're not used to seeing that one, but now he might have to dig really hard. He's up in the wall. So he might have to run the numbers.
In his interview, he's got a new wheel, so sometimes when you get new equipment, but he's pulling right back in here. He's not out of this yet.
But he's not out. Like you said, he's up to 6. Lance Ripka's hanging on that final transfer spot. You got Zach Chapman. It's the one thing about the 410s is you can recover from a slight mishap with these. You've got enough power. You got enough sliding ability in these machines to get it done. You got Benjamin out front right now leading it with Dan McLaren right there on his back. Tail tank trying to see if he can't run him down. Chris Forsyth right there holding on the third, but Lance all alone in fourth. As Zach Chapman, here comes Lane Snook to his inside, trying to see if he can't make up ground.
Yeah, the big thing is here, I mean, I know he's not in the transfer to the A, but if I'm not mistaken here, he may be looking to transfer into the B and not being in the C. I'm not sure how that goes out, but every position back here counts.
Yeah, right now, Oh, you can see this battle happening back here in about the 5th place spot. You see Snook taking the slide job on him, puts it up high. Zach Chapman says, I'm going to crisscross you over. This is actually the battle for 4th and 6th place spot. Or excuse me, actually battle for 5th and 6th place. White flag, checker flag here. These two gentlemen are going to outside looking in. They're going to have to run the numbers here tonight, the alphabet soup, as it looks like Benjamin's going to win it. And Lance Ripka is going to bring it home in the final transfer. That brings us in our heat race. Number 4, Stephen Roy here tonight.
Stephen Wah.
Wah.
That's it, Joe.
Well, it's spelled Roy. That's how he sent it.
I get it totally, and I'm sure he does too. He's with the Victoriaville Fire Department. He is from Victoriaville, Quebec, and he'll be driving the 41 360 sprint car on the real track this coming summer.
Oh, nice. So he's a real racer.
He's a real racer. He was a crew for one of the top runners out of Quebec. He'd go down to Tampa with him and stuff. And
Awesome.
He just acquired his own car, and so I'm really excited for him and looking for big things.
Nice.
So here we go, Joe. You ready? Nathan Krapaszewski, I think. Nathan K. And then Preston Cramner, the A-Let Outlaw on the outside of row 1. And Preston will be joining us in the booth for the Dirt Mods as John suits up and gets down there. Blake Chapman and Brendan Lacey in row 2. Zane Walters, Brian Moore Sr., row 3. And then from PMD Designs, RPM Racing, whether it's French or English, RPM, we all understand that, is Patrick Malte.
All right. I'll tell you right there in 7th spot. But Nathan Krapaszewski? Krapaszewski? I'll just go with
Nathan K.
We'll just do it. Nathan K.
Nathan
There
K.
you go. With Nathan K. Sound good to me. Green flag. Preston Cranmer, the man out front right now, though. He is battling it out with old Nathan right now. Those two are going side by side as you got Preston hanging on to the 2nd place spot. Nathan's up top. Here comes Preston, though. He put the slider move up the high line. Brendan Lacey's going to try to take it on the inside. He does. Slide job made it complete. Nathan drops back to the 3rd place. Blake Chapman right there hanging on to the final transfer spot.
The old A-Let Outlaw's on fire tonight.
Yes, he is looking really good. He's going to put it on the inside move there on Nathan to see if he can't move up one more spot. Zane Walters is the man outside looking in. He's hoping maybe those two up front of him make a mistake where he can get up there and get that final transfer. We saw how important it has been, guys, to get into the top 4 and make it into the feature because just like with Field Miller and them earlier, running through those the C and B main, it's tough to do.
Yeah, it's real tough with only being 4 transfer. But now we got Preston getting a little pressure from the 414 there. Brennan's right on his back bumper, and but Preston doesn't make a lot of mistakes, so it's gonna have Brennan's gonna have to go up there and take it.
Absolutely. Lance right now takes a slide job on him, made it complete. Preston's going to see if he can't crisscross him back to the bottom. White flag. Always call this a do-si-do. The contact, that's not what you want. Preston Cranmer, and then he takes out. Actually, he just got involved in it. Brendan Lacey. Zane Walters is going to end up getting the final transfer. Lacey outside. Cranmer's going to have to run it. Oh, that's why we love the heat races, because you just never know what's going to happen. Wow. Chapman wins it, though.
That one hurt. That one hurt for both those guys, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, we're coming up to a very special heat here.
Yeah, we are. I like this heat.
So this heat, we are paying tribute to all of the first responders who have given their lives in the line of duty and, the ultimate sacrifice. When everybody runs away from danger, these are the folks that run towards it. And we really can't thank them enough for protecting us and looking after us. And so we just want to tip our hats to all those that went before us. So heat number 5, we've got on the pole, we've got G.J. Boydell with Kyle Parker on the outside. And in row 2, we just talked to him, Francis Bam Bam Major. I had it wrong. I said boom boom, it's Bam Bam. And on his outside, Steven Spees Then we've got Patrick Spangler, Matt Mateer, and Nathan Aldrich should be at the back. We got some good runners in here, boy. Watch Spees.
I think it's going to be a good one here. Like I say, paying tribute to all the fallen first responders. Like I say, very dangerous job that a lot of those folks do, and I want to appreciate them week in and week out, day in and day in, doing what they do here. And the dog is excited for it also in the back. GJ Boydell out front. Kyle Parker there in second. Stephen Spees sitting in third. Ought to be a good one.
Yeah, as they come around here, they're going to fire off, but Greg's going to pace them coming out of the corner, and there's the green flag, and they're off.
Green flag.
Kyle Parker gets a nice jump there.
Yes, he does. Kyle, remember, he wasn't too comfortable inside the 305, but the 410's got a lot more power, maybe closer to what he's familiar with in the late models there, as he's out front leading this one here. In the second place spot, though, we've got a 3-cart battle here. They're making contact a little bit. We saw how that turned out the last time. G.J. Boydell's third. Spangler sitting in the 4th place spot. Nathan Aldridge is around, unfortunately, and so is Matthew off the pace in the back. So Francis Majors, who was sitting in the 5th place, he would love to see if he can't climb back up there and get that last transfer spot.
Yeah, it's tough when you're because race car drivers, they want to get to the front. You want to just pass everybody in front of you. But, in these heat races with many cars, sometimes you got to do big picture racing and say, okay, I'm in a transfer. It's not doing anything crazy. But as a driver in that seat, boy, that's tough to do sometimes.
Yes, it is. Right now, Kyle Parker's leading this one here in our heat race number 5 here tonight. Tribute to all the fallen first responders. Got Stephen Spees right there, Patrick Spangler, G.J. Boydell, Francis Majors with it, but the battle's on here for that's actually GJ and Patrick Spangler. That's actually for 3rd and 4th, as GJ right now has the 3rd. Spangler wants it, but they better watch out because he got Majors closing in on him.
Yeah, he is. And now he caught a tire, and
what's going to happen? Yep, just like that. White flag's out. Won't matter, but you got Matthew now pulling it into the 4th place spot. Francis Majors is down low out of turn 4. Matthew's going to get the last transfer. Wow. Majors and Spangler outside looking in. Kyle Parker's going to win it here. Wow, is the thing, as that brings us up into our C main here. We had 4 go to the B main out of 11 drivers here tonight.
Yes, and we've got some good drivers in this. There's so many good drivers now.
Gotta say, Carson Cherries likes running from the back to the front, don't he?
Yeah.
He likes putting on a show. He's the one that have family members watching, so he's making sure he's getting their money's worth.
So we got Zach Chapman and Brendan Lacey on the front row. These are the guys on the inside, looking out. Patrick Spangler and Steve Goldner's dad, Barry, is P4. So those are the transfer spots as they stand right now. And then we got Chris Schaefer and Andrew Smith, Patrick Malte, Nathan Aldrich, Brian Moore Jr., Jeff Flaro, and Carson Cherry.
Looks like Patrick, Nathan, Jeff, and Carson did not grid.
Patrick, it looks like he's disconnected, so he's loaded up the hauler, and I guess he's got to get ready for the big block race.
Yeah, unfortunate right there. So that's put 7, still 4 go to the feature. So 3 of these guys are still going to go home. And Schaefer right there in 5th, Smith sitting in the 6th place, and Moore Jr. there in 7th. So we'll see what Chapman and Lacey can do as the green flag flies. We're racing here for our C main tonight. Hometown Heroes, the Icon SimSport Hometown Heroes. Sponsoring it by the First Responders Night here tonight for us. Lacey out front leading, Chapman there in 2nd. Spangler hanging on the 3rd. We've got a 2x2 battle happening with him as Goldner right there in the top. Almost a little contact with Schaefer.
Yeah, they're it's hot and heavy right now for that transfer spots back there. It's go or go
place. That is the 4th place spot. You're right. You just said it. You go or go home. You don't make it into the top 4 in this one. You go home here tonight. Right now, Goldner's outside looking in. He sees a full back end there of Schaefer. Schaefer gets maybe a little caught up in the front there with Chapman as those two are battling it out. Chapman's up top right now, and here comes Brian Moore Jr. He's bringing his nose into the mix here. He says, I want to get into the show, as he's battling it out there alongside of Goldner himself.
Chapman caught the back straightaway wall there about a lap or so ago, and it's really seemed to have upset the car. I don't know how hard he got it, but he is not looking as stable as he was the first few laps.
No, it's not, but we got 2 by 2. You got right now Brian Moore Jr. has moved up into the 3rd place there along with it. Patrick Spangler, Moore's up to 2nd. He has shot to the front so far. Spangler's in 3rd, Schaefer in 4th, Goldner the 5th. Chapman is now outside looking in, and he was inside there for a while.
Yeah, I'd say Brendan Lacey's got a good strategy here. He's got a big enough lead. If he finds trouble, he might be able to start getting it going and still make a transfer.
Absolutely. He's got a huge lead right there. You've got Brian Moore Jr. up the top. Spangler right there looking good himself. Chapman's got his hands full now with Goldner as those two are tagging each other. White flag. But Andrew Smith still in the 5th place. Schaefer holding on to the last transfer. Is Zach Chapman going home again tonight? He didn't make it in the first one. He's just, luck is running out. And it looks like it's going to happen again as Chris Schaefer's going to hang on to the 4th place spot. Brendan Lacey's going to be the one. So that's your top 4 there going to the B main here. That's our SBGC 3D printing B main, SBGC3D.com. Check them out there for a lot of all your printing needs. You're going to see a cool video later on of some of their work that they do. Tom Taylor and Company, who is in this one here tonight, is going to try to race his way in. Again, top 4 here. Roger, go to the feature.
Yeah, and we've got on the front row, we've got Chris Whipple, Jeremy Paulson. And then, as you mentioned, Lane Snook was racing at least a start in the B. He got here and starting near the front. Alongside the Alet Outlaw from KSR Racing, Preston Cramner. And Francis Bam Bam Major and Jeff Barker, Tom Taylor, Brendan Lacey, Brian Moore Jr. Wow, there's some big names here. Then Spangler, Schaefer, and that's it. And there's only 4 going to make it.
It could be an A main lineup on most of the nights. This is incredible to see these guys in here.
Well, you're right. You've got, like you said, Schaefer, Spangler, Lacey, Majors,
Lane.
Lane. Yeah, I mean, right there, just all in this B main.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah.
Did you know you got the 4th place guy in the standings isn't out here tonight either? Do you know who that is?
Who is that?
He's sitting right beside you in the booth, John Hine.
Well, why ain't you?
Yeah.
He's giving the boys a chance tonight.
Yeah. Oh, okay, there it is.
I'm too old to swap cars. That's the truth.
There you go. Hey, look at this 3 wide triple set all the way back 4 wide. I don't know who that was that just shot to the top though in that number 4 machine, but he made it stick, and then he just got dumped to the back there. I think that actually was Tom Taylor, or we're gonna find out who it was. I keep clicking until I find out who it is. I think it's Brendan Lacey.
Yeah, they're side by side, 3 rows deep. Just what you'd expect from the level of talent here in this B main.
Absolutely. Francis Majors crashing in the back, taking Patrick Spangler along with him. Unfortunate there for those guys up top. They're still battling. Lane Snook's walking away with this one, though. He's leading it right now. 3 wide battle around about 4th and 5th place. That's that transfer spot. You got to be kidding me. Brendan Lacey, he took it wild on the start. Now he's back in 8th. He's trying everything he can. Chris Whipple, the SBGC man himself right there, hanging on to it. He has definitely got a 3D machine running out here in the final transfer. He wants to make the show, but he's got Jeffrey Barker, Brian Moore Jr. breathing down his back, tail tank right now, trying to see what they can do. Jr. comes to the top with a slide job. That was a beautiful move, man, taking the top side of the cushion. And Tom Taylor hits the wall. Chris Whipple, hits the wall, my man.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, they were running hard for that spot. And, I mean, last week's runner-up in the feature, too. For both first and second in last week's feature are in this race with Lane the winner and Jeff Barker that ran second. So, boy, I tell you, It's tough out there tonight.
Hot and heavy here in the B main. That's what we're going to say. Snook's just walking off in the sunset right now here in the B main tonight as he's got that thing on lockdown. Jeremy Palsy hanging on the second. Preston Cranmer right there in the third. VP man himself, but he's got pressure from Brian Moore Jr., who just looked like he clocked the wall just a little bit on the top. That allows Brendan Lacey to move in ever so slightly, but it's still a heated battle between the third and fourth place spot. Even though you might be in the show, he definitely wants that third place spot though. Checker flag, he's going to hang on to it. But we got our top four. Brian Moore Jr., Cranmer, Paulson, and Snook are going to the show, and I know a lot of guys are probably betting going, y'all should have got rid of Snook. But he's in the feature.
But you know what? I'm glad they did. Now we get to watch him come from the back. This is he'll see what kind of show the kid puts on.
See what kind of mean machine he's got.
Yeah, and I still wouldn't bet against him. I still would not bet against him.
No, I'm with you there, John. I'll tell you what, our Icon Sim Sports intermission here is up, folks. Icon Sim Sports, I tell you, there's a multitude of rig companies out there, but you look to iconsimsports.com. The one thing that makes them stand out is they will build this thing to you and make you feel like you're in a real race car, and comfortable at that. I mean, usually comfort and race cars don't hand in hand, but they will fit this thing to your size of who you are. That's the one thing I say that makes them stand out from the rest. Check them out at iconsimsports.com. We're live tonight here with the GForce Racing League. Excuse me, I had a cough there, folks. With the GForce Racing League here, and a multitude of divisions. I can sit here and talk multiple times. Just go to GForceRL.com. You will see a world of information there that will tell you everything you need to know about the GForce Racing League. Got to give a shout out to Justice Sick, iRacing Photos, coming on board here for our driver of the week here tonight. And tonight, very special night here for the Icon Sim Sport Hometown Heroes. As far as with our first responders, we're normally on a couple platforms. One of the main ones here, GForce Esports on YouTube. Hit those likes and shares if you want to see racing throughout the week on the GForce Esports on YouTube. Check them out on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, and you'll definitely see a multitude. But we got a slew of them because we're on iRacing Live, OSR Network on YouTube, Facebook, and on the GForce Esports here tonight. And guys, I tell you what, it has been an outstanding. Well, let's watch a quick video on some of the first responders. We saw it early on. Just for the new viewers out there, real quick, on some of our drivers out here that are first responders. We'll be right back.
Captain from Dundas and Hamilton Fire Departments, respectively, with 35 years service.
Hi guys, here Stephen Owa, number 41, and I'm firefighter for the city of Victoriaville.
Peyton Young, driver the number 69, Gambler Motorsports, inside groove sprint car. Currently a firefighter at Dalton Fire Rescue.
All right, we're gonna pull Aiden Young up here real quick. Hey Aiden, you got your ears on.
I got you, John.
You're having a big night tonight here, first responders. And first of all, I want to thank you for your service. And why don't you tell me a little bit about the Dalton Fire Department and what you do with them, and just how you came to be a firefighter, actually.
That started with my father. He's on the department with me, so that really helps. And we're just a small town that we go mutual aid a lot to all the other towns, and we get big accidents once in a while, and it just happens.
Very cool. How long have you been doing it?
Probably 4 years now.
Very cool. Well, you've got a little bit of a race here that you're going to have to be involved in. What's your plan here to get to the front?
I'm starting second, so just keep the car clean and we'll see what happens.
Well, good luck, and hopefully we talk to you again here shortly after the race.
Hopefully.
That is Aiden Young.
Good guy right there. We got somebody else up here you're about set to get a talk with.
Yes, Brian Moore. How are you tonight? You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I'm getting along.
Yes, sir. You've got a long way to the front here tonight. What's your plan to get there?
Well, the top has been feeling good, but I tell you what, I could only hang in on that top for so long, and starting so far back with so many cars, it's going to go away pretty quick. So I think I'll try to run through the middle.
Not a bad idea. I've seen that middle work here a lot. So, hey, man, good luck, and I hope you can get up there pretty quick, and hopefully we talk to you a little bit here after the race.
Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan.
Good luck tonight, man.
Thank you.
And talk about race, we're getting set here. Feature time tonight. The Icon Sim Sports feature tonight for the Icon Sim Sports Hometown Heroes. 410 wing sprints here for first responders tonight. About to kick this thing off as good field, 24 drivers out here. And we were just talking about Aiden Young. He's going to be starting in second. AJA right there is going to start out front in it. And Roger back yet? No. Now, the reason why he's not, I just remember that, John. My bad. Sometimes my brain don't work, you know. Something that in real life racing, if you've ever been to dirt tracks, the World of Outlaw does it pretty much every time. I think a lot of the local tracks do it. Some might not, but it is a staple that is in dirt track. And if you're new, awesome, you're about to see something really neat and spectacular. 4-wide salute. Normally the 4-wide salute is for the fans. That is pretty much what it was intended for, and it's why dirt racing does it. There is a 4-wide salute to the fans. But tonight we're going to do it for the first responders here tonight. And of course the fans too. I mean, hey, look, without fans, really is nothing, without drivers and everything else. So, excuse me. With that said, what you're going to see is they're going to go around. The green flag is going to fly here. They're going to throw a caution real quick. As you can see, the green jumps. They should throw a caution. These guys will line up, and it is just, it's something. John, I think it just looks,
The yellow flag is out.
Looks cool, looks neat.
Oh yeah, and the funny thing is, I've done a few of these both in real life and here in iRacing, and for people that haven't done it, it's actually a little tricky to do when you got 2 wide high and 1 low, and you're stuck in the middle there. But cool, it is cool to be a part of, because I can tell you, from even in the car, having everybody that close together, you feel the rumble and the energy and all that. Just sitting in the car, then you come around and you can look up in the stands and you see everybody, waving their phones or lighters or hats. It's a really cool moment where the drivers and the fans are connecting, and I love seeing these things.
Absolutely, and like you said, and it originated pretty much. I'm going to say it originated from the World of Outlaws as a salute to the fans. Tonight we're doing it for the salute to the first responders here, as you can see. So 4-wide salute, folks. You see what basically it is. It's 4x4x4 all the way back. Definitely just something that is wild and spectacular there. To show off, you see the cars just rumbling, like just what John was saying. I mean, that many cars.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Side by side. I mean, there's really no words for it. It's like,
It is, and like I said, it's a nice connection when you're out there. Everybody's kind of watching, and it looks good. And tonight being we've mentioned 9/11, and these first responders, we talk about their bravery about when the accidents or whatever happen and they run towards danger, but they train to keep us safe and to save our lives. All the training and stuff, even before those incidents happen, they put in hours and hours and hours of training. So the salute here is really for them. not just at the point of where there's some kind of crisis, but all the work they do to get them prepared to handle it and save our lives, for better best way I could put it.
And you're right. I mean, and we bring up the 9/11 because that's probably the most notable one that a lot of the first responders unfortunately passed away in there. But you're right. Anything that goes on, the simplest thing down the road, a car crash or someone having a medical problem at home or something, who gets on site first. A lot of them, like you said, they train. Even in the hospitals, a lot of, we can't forget about that. First responders aren't just out in the field a lot of times. They are also there, maybe in the emergency room of a lot of things too. So, a lot of people don't realize that,
We see a lot of things that have mass casualties, from hurricanes, everything else. They practice.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people don't know that, John. A lot of people don't know the first responders are in hospitals also. Yep. They think that they're just the ones that show up at a catastrophe or a wreck or something, but no, they're there too.
That's exactly. I want to make sure those people know that this is for them too, and all the work, and we appreciate them and we thank them.
Absolutely. So here we go, getting set. Gonna come out here and get set for the night. It's been a good night so far. We got the 410 wing sprints, Icon Sim Sports. Folks, if you're looking for a rig, believe me, I'm gonna tell you what, John, if I had the funds, I definitely would be getting one of those rigs because they are nice. Definitely if they could build it for you. But green flag flies, and already AJ's in trouble. He gets into the wall. Yellow flag is out. Let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay. I don't know if that was AJ. It actually wasn't AJ. That was what's that? Jeremy Palsy. Was it Jeremy? No. I know Jeremy and him were involved in it, but yeah, it was AJ. Thought it was. AJ went in there and got that thing slid up into the wall watching the replay, and then from there, we saw earlier on nowhere to go. And I'll tell you what, he got lucky. I don't know if you saw that there, John, but he got lucky. that thing just kind of went back straight like it did.
Yeah, and if you look over from the overhead, and you can see how much slick it is from the bottom to the top. When you do a slide job now, that is a long way to go across the track. And if you carry too much speed, that slick doesn't slow you down like if it's a little bit of tack. And that's exactly what it looked like happened to AJ there. He went in there, got in it, and carried enough speed where it just carried him right up to the wall, and there wasn't really a whole lot he could do. It happens. It's happened to all of us at one point in time or another.
Sure don't have my tickers lining up here. It's weird right now showing Brian Moore out front, but a bunch of other cars are in front of him, so it'll probably reset itself as soon as they go across the start-finish line. Sometimes when they do these cautions, it does that unless those cars are a lap down.
They'll probably reset here. It does that a lot from in the cars too, with when the caution laps don't count.
Because it's still showing Brian Moore in second, Kyle Parker leading, and everybody else. Hope they cleared those guys' black flags up. There it goes. Now it's flipping. Okay. All right.
Well, we got Aiden leading, and Garrett has moved up there to second. So
yep, there we go.
Good night for both these guys so far.
I was waiting for it to flip around until it's supposed to. And so what is happening is when they did those, just real quick, when the cautions come out, they don't count. A lot of times they can mess with a little bit of the timing and so forth. But yes, actually Aiden Young is leading this one. Along actually right there with Blake Chapman behind it, but Garrett Pepiot is actually giving Aiden Young. He's the man out front leading it right now as he took the lead over.
Garrett's a really good driver. He's going to be tough to catch. He gets out in the lead there on his own. And looking back at the mayor, he's in 17th, so he's got a long way to go to get up there yet.
And, he's got time to get it done. Just got to stay out of trouble. He's back here in 18th place spot right now, 17th place spot. He's using that high lane like he likes. So we'll see if he's able to move up to the front. Still Garrett Pepiot, the man out front. Aiden Young right here in second. He's got his hands full with Blake Chapman right on his back end. Benjamin Kels right there in 6th place spot. Dan McLaren. And
they are all over the track here, high, low, a lot of that. This is almost like that enduro race last week. Action
absolutely.
Everywhere.
Oh, got cars together. That's actually Benjamin and Darren got together, and Darren actually jumped over the hood of him. I don't know if you saw that one. That was crazy.
He did. Yeah, it was good. Those guys got lifted a little bit and got away from each other. That surely would have been a caution. But what that did, though, you look behind that group, but Lane moved up on them when that happened, and now we got a couple spun low on coming out of 4.
Chris Forsyth, along with Brennan Weeks, they were just beating and banging each other in the back. Right now, they're 3 wide right there. You see Lane got another car up on the wall there. Lane taking a high side, but down low, yeah, they just came together. And one's in the grass, doing his best donut.
Yeah, and this caution's going to help Lane. He's picked up a lot of spots there in that run. We're on lap 11. We got, 29 we got about 20 of these things to go, 19 of these to go. So he gets another caution, picks up a few, gets another caution. He's not going to be far out of maybe getting back up there.
Absolutely. So here we go. We got, like I said, Brian Moore Jr. right here along with it. Sitting in the 5th place spot. Blake Chapman up in the 3rd. It's all Pepe out front with Aiden Young there in 2nd. Dan McLaren up in 4th. AJ A right there. I'm going to say A because I keep messing up his last name, folks. I apologize. In 6th place spot, Stephen Goldner up there in the 7th. Donovan Ross looks like he is in the 8th place. And Lane, like you said, has moved up. Showing 10th, I believe.
Yeah, and he gets another good start here, but he's got some. It's going to get harder for him to pass cars the closer to the front. So I mean, you got guys that got it together. It's not going to get any easier for him. Looking right in front of him, I'm looking. You got Spees, Parker, Donovan Ross. Those are all top quality drivers. Gotta be tough for him.
I knew some of these cars had to be a lap down. They just didn't get those laps cleared because you see them going around. Now what they're doing, folks, here is they're letting them do waiver rounds, and that's the control with the admin and racing. That's why the ticker was so far off. I got a feeling we had some cars out there that was out of place, but they'll get it right. Here we go. Yeah, just letting them get back some of those laps. That's what they're doing right there, John.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. It's tough to tell from sitting up here. Maybe if we get Roger back up here in the booth, we can get a confirmation on exactly what happened there. But
I mean, pretty much when they did the 4 wide salute, some of those guys probably got black flags for being out of position.
Yep.
When it clicked green really quick, and
we had a car that left the park there on the restart.
That should have been Stephen Goldner. It's what it's saying he crashed. So let's go back and watch Stephen on the replay here and see on a Malcolm Mills replay as he's right there. That one that just went flying off down into the pit lane. Stephen Goldner was the one that was in the caution here. It said Stephen Goldner crashed, but I don't know. I saw the car you were talking about.
Got it out of the corner of my eye.
I saw who it was, but if we can't see it, I'm gonna maybe slow it down on the start here and see. It's right behind.
It's the 225 of Chris.
Yeah, right there. Boom. He hit the tire in the pits.
Boy, he sure did. That's a heck of a run there, isn't it? And he's out of here.
It's gone. All right. Gonna go single file here. But yeah, I mean, basically when they did the 4 wide salute, they didn't it doesn't count the cautions, but yet when it went that green, probably what it did was it activated some black flags for a lot of those guys, and then they went green instantly. And obviously they got to wait till some cautions to get these things wound back up. Donovan Ross, though, up front's leading. Yellow flag back out again. I think they threw that one because they needed to get one car. You saw a car come flying up through there. Was trying to get back on the lead lap, or they were giving him a wave around, and it went green on them really quick. And that's basically what they're trying to do. They're trying to get everybody set back up on the right lap, folks. That's what they're trying to do here.
Yep,
So.
which is fair for the drivers. So
It is. It is. I mean, it's no fault of the drivers. And again, it goes back to the, normally in iRacing, there is no official way to do a 4-wide salute unless you let it go green and then hit the caution. That's the only way you can. And the bad thing about doing it sometimes is when you do that, it messes up the starting line, and it can give drivers black flags and stuff like that. Well, the admins can clear those, but then again, sometimes it can also make them a lap down, and the only way to clear those is to hit another caution and then let them do a wave around, which the admins have control of that too. We see a lot of it in the oval side, a lot of it.
Yep. Well, at least we're getting some excitement though here on these restarts.
Oh yeah. Well, we're running out of time, though. We're running into the next one.
I hope I got to suit up and go compete in that
That's
one.
what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to run in that one, the big blocks. Oh, boy, I tell you. Well, right now, out front, green flags back at it again. Yeah, you see Gary Pepiot. He's getting some good starts, though. Already 3 and 4 wide, about mid-pack, right around Brian Moore Jr. and Brendan Weeks. Lane Snooks moved up to the 7th place spot. He's keeping check with that high lane. They keep doing these cautions, and it's going to help him. You see him up there in the top. Dan McLaren there along with it. As it's 3 wide behind him, Brendan Weeks there in the 9th place spot. Steven Spees, Kyle Parker, G.J. Boydell. Some good racing about mid-pack.
Yes, sir. They are. They're 2 wide and 3 wide, Dyson and slicing. And, boy, I tell you what, this is fun stuff to watch.
Absolutely. Still, Brian Moore Sr.'s the man out. Well, no, he's not, because he's a little bit off. It's still Garrett Pepiot. So my ticker's still a little bit off. I'm going to say Brian Moore Sr. probably needs to have one more wave around. That's why it's showing him out front. It's all Pepiot right now with Aiden Young sitting in second. He's got Brian Chapman right there on his back tail tank trying to breathe down on him on the top side. Is he going to be able to get him a slider on the top? He might get him right there. Got it for a minute.
Meanwhile, Lane has crept into the top 5 finally.
Telling you, look in your rearview mirror, and it's just that young man. Whew. Caution out. Like what's that?
This is where you're gonna not want to leave your screens here with this restart coming up with Garrett and Lane and Aiden.
Oh,
yeah. This
right
gonna be a
there.
bump burner.
Right here, we're seeing the replay real quick, and Brian Moore right there. We just saw it, just got spun around a little bit. A little contact between it, unfortunately. Malcolm Mills replay there, folks. Well, you're going to have Garrett Pepiot out front, Chapman there in second, Aiden Young up in third, Lane Snook's going to be in fourth. So it's definitely going to be interesting. The top 4 there, like you said. All going to be dependent on if they go single file. If they go single file, I think Lane's going to love it. If they go double file and he gets put down on the inside, because it's going to be dependent on his restart, because he's wanting that high lane. I think the high lane is the place it's coming in right now.
Sure, I think so too, and it looks like it will be single file.
Here we go.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Green. I think they've held off here. You got Kyle Parker stopped on the front straightaway.
Probably trying to get him back on the lead lap, folks. Folks, there's nothing unusual here. Just trying to get him, waved around, trying to get him back on the lead lap. Kind of messed up the timing a little bit early on.
I was going to say, Kyle, if he's just stopping there, that's probably going to be the place to be sitting at the end of this, right there at that start-finish line, to see who crosses that bad boy first.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. But Pepiot's had some good starts here, and he's been able to hold his own up front so far in these 410 wing sprints here for our Icon Sim Sports hometown heroes. Blake Chapman's hanging on to second. Aiden Young there in third. Lane Snook sitting in the 4th place spot. AJ there in 5th. Steven Spees up in 6th. Brendan Weeks into the 7th place spot. Here we go. Getting set. Green flag. Lights off on the pace truck. About to dive off on pit road, and we're set to go back racing here at Cedar Lake here tonight.
It should be good, boy. This top 4 here, these guys are all heavy hitters. I'm excited.
Green flag. We're back racing, and you see Pepiot right now gets a good jump, as he should, by being that single file right there. Lane Snook pulls on the back tail tank of Aiden Young. Aiden feels the pressure, but down low, here comes Aiden. He got shuffled out of the mix. Lane Snook's back in fifth up top. Here comes AJ down low, and he takes him out.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, contact between the two. I mean, those two just come together. Lane and AJ right there just came together, and that's pretty much a product of some hard racing between two young guns there on the track. Boom! And pretty much almost what happened to AJ earlier. That car just slid up the track. I really feel like what you said earlier there, John. That just looked like a product of what happened to AJ. Remember earlier, he crashed in the wall. And the same thing, Lane went in that inside, and that car just instantly just shot straight up.
Yeah, he went to turn, and it looked like AJ was committed to running the center there. Boy, that's a tough call. That's
me. It's just racing. Me, it's just racing. I mean, it's
two guys trying to occupy the same spot. That doesn't ever work very well.
Yeah, I mean, and I know you're always going to have an angry driver in a situation like that. Probably AJ's going to be the angry one in it. To me, on a situation, I mean, it's just how I see it on things on the top here. And that's hard racing. We saw it earlier with AJ who drove it in, and you said the exact thing was that cart just instantly shot straight, kind of slid straight up the track and pushed him into the wall. Kind of the same thing right there with Lane. Unfortunately, AJ's right beside of him. But then again, those two guys were just racing each other so hard, and they both drove it into that turn, well, wide open. I mean, they were going for it.
Green flag.
Yeah, green flag. Flies. We'll let them fight it out on the virtual pits there when they get done with the race. So Aiden Young hanging on the third. Blake Chapman up there. He's actually in. Is that Blake Chapman? Yeah, he's moved it up there in the second place. Lane still holding on to the fourth place right now. Pepiot's been the man all night long. Now he's moved down to the low line.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the run. He gapped him coming out of 2 with the run he got coming out of 2 on the bottom.
So far, looks good. Pepiot's holding on to it. He's taking this. Looks like 3 and 4. He's going low. 1 and 2. He's going high.
3 and 4. He's running a slider line.
My bad. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, the other way around. Flip it around. I saw it the wrong way. 1 and 2 going low, and then 3 and 4, like you said, he's kind of slinging it in and letting it slide up the track. Yep. Look at that.
There's a lot of tack there on the exit of 4, which will catch your car. You hit it right, and that's exactly what Garrett's doing there. But that bottom in 1 and 2, boy, he gaps them mid straightaway on down the back straightaway. I'm surprised these other guys can't see that and haven't moved down to try to get in his tire tracks there.
Aiden Young's been able to fight off a hard charging Lane Snook right now to hold on to third. Blake Chapman's holding on to that second place. And like you said, Pepiot, he is utilizing a unique style line. Got some good racing going around about 10th place spot here. They're 3 wide. That's Brian Moore Jr., G.J. Boyd Dale, Donovan Ross and company back there. And still your top 3 here.
Yeah, back there where you're looking at, boy. I tell you what, you got father, son. Those guys are probably racing harder than anybody else on the track to get in front of each other.
Gotta love it right now as laps are winding down, but it's all Pepiot. But look at this. Chapman is running him down. And if they get up there and start battling, that might bring in Aiden and Snook here. So something you got to keep in mind. White flag one more time. Won't matter what happens, and kill himself on the track. All Pepiot's got to do is hang on to it here for the final time. He's going to win it for the 410 wing sprints for the Icon Sim Sport. And Aiden Young will hang on to third place.
Wow, what a good race that was. And boy, I tell you, Lane, I think that's the first time he hasn't been on the podium in a long time.
But he came from the back.
Yes, he did.
I mean, that's just
still
that's
need
scary.
Still need to tip the hat to that young man. That was an impressive run.
Scary. Wow. So let's see if we can't bring him up here a little bit. Get a word with Aiden, Blake, and all, because we're going to set sail over to some big block modified racing here soon. As we're waiting for the guys to jump up here and guys get a few words. Got Aiden Young down here, third place man. Let's get a word with him.
Aiden, yeah, we got a podium here. Nice job tonight.
Thank you.
So what was your plan there as you tried to reel in both Garrett and Chapman there? Or were you did you have anything that you were trying to work on and was starting to work, or just kind of hanging on and you had what you had?
Just hanging on, and I had whatever I had.
Well, you know what? Podium is not nothing to hang your head low on, man. Great run tonight on a night that you're sponsoring. So we got to thank you for Young Gun Creations and all that. Give a quick plug to Young Gun Creations and thank everybody else too that helped you get onto the podium here.
I just want to thank Gilman Motorsports, you guys for broadcasting, obviously. Just my Young Gun Creations, my whole family for letting me do this. Mid-South Sports Report, they do an excellent job of doing a podcast each week, and just want to thank them for coming on board for this season.
Great. Aiden, once again, man, I am proud of you. What a good run you had tonight. You're running the big blocks tonight, are you?
Affirmative. I hope I can be a killer in that.
Great. We'll see you on over there tonight. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Third place man right there, Aiden Young, coming home, doing an outstanding job here. So get a word in with our second place guy, Blake Chapman.
Blake, another good run tonight. It looked like you were closing in on Garrett there. I think a couple more laps, you probably could have made this real interesting. What were you seeing from your standpoint?
Yeah, I was definitely reeling him in there towards the end, but I was really making some hay coming off of 4, and we were kind of running similar lines in 4 there coming off the top. So I don't know if I would have had anything for him, but definitely would have been interesting.
You got better as the race wore on. Did you make any adjustments, wing, or just how you were driving the corners? Were you doing anything different, or did the track just come to you?
Well, I kind of got more comfortable in 3 and 4, running the top, gave it a little bit more gas, and coming into 1 and 2. Coming into 1, I'd run it a little bit higher, get a little bit more grip off the top, and that really helped me.
Great. A good run again tonight up on the podium. One more spot. Maybe you grab that next week. Who would you like to thank for getting up here tonight?
Sketch Racing Graphics for the design on the car. Parents, grandparents, anybody that watches a broadcast and supports. Roger for running the league. And Joe for putting it on every week.
Well, good luck. Are you going to be in the next race?
No.
All right. Well, good run tonight. Hopefully you come back next week and improve by 1 spot.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's old Blake Chapman runner up here tonight, but this guy, Pepe, had it on lockdown. Garrett, Joey the Boots got a copy? Garrett, Joey the Boots got a copy? He's a little shy right now. He's probably surprised still. Dave, well, give him a second. What's that?
Now I'm in the waiting room here. I'll bring him back up here to see him one more time.
Yeah, we'll try one more time here. If not, we'll maybe get him on the last one there. But Garrett Pepe, Joe in the booth, got a copy?
Sure do.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, Garrett, you were out front leading this thing. How did it feel to be out front there in that 410 sprint to win this thing here tonight at the Hometown Heroes?
Consistency was key. That's pretty much what it was about. If you could hit your lines and be where you wanted to be, you had a good chance.
And you was bad fast too there, so I definitely got to agree with that one. You got some awesome consistency out there, and you put in victory lane. You got anybody you want to thank for a good win here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Ford Entertainment Group for building me my PC to compete with these guys. Alex Hanna Gaming, Race Lab apps, Velocity Race Design, Roger for putting on the awesome league, and you for showcasing this for everybody to watch.
I'll tell you what, right there, and you got a good PC. Old Jeff Ford does some good stuff. Again, congratulations, man, here in Epsilon Sprint Rats Victory Lane. Garrett Pepe here pulling it off with the 410s. Well, folks, I tell you what, we're going to leave out of here because we're going to bring some big blocks to you, and we'll be right back here in a few.
It all starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
people want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any cool rain, bright box, or Mr. Plumber service.
All right, folks, we're back here now. I'll tell you what a night we've had. We started out with 305s, then we had some 410s. Now we got big blocks. So we've went from small, large to big. There we go. So it's going to be an interesting here to finish off this night here with the Icon Sim Sports Hometown Heroes here. We're doing a special thing for the first responders. If you're just tuning in, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Well, looks like we got one of the drivers here, though, as we're getting set to go into our qualifying. We're here with our Gambler Motorsports pre-race show here tonight. You don't know who Gambler Motorsports is, go check him out on Facebook here. But Roger's run down on pit road, or he hopped in his little golf cart, ran on down pit road, and got a hold of Philip Gome.
Yeah, I'm all out of breath. He goes in the league as Tom Gom. So is it Tom or Philip?
Well, truth be told, Philip is my brother. So between the two of us, we actually share an account. So, well, I pay rent, so it's all good.
Which one's better?
Definitely call me Tom.
No, which one's better?
Which one's a better driver?
Yeah.
Well, considering on dirt, it's me. On asphalt, it's definitely him.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
So Tom, we wanted to call you in here tonight. You've been up getting interviewed. You're one of our top dogs here, but you're a top dog in the real world, man. Your whole family is something. Just to I'm very humbled here to be talking to you. Just tell us a little bit about your family.
Hang on a sec. I'm trying to mute the chat here. I'm running practice laps. So pretty much. Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry, Preston was talking.
I was just tell us a little. I was just saying I'm humbled by looking at your family history. Tell us a little bit about your whole family because they're all amazing people.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you saying that. Pretty much it started back in 1961. My grandfather moved up here from the city with his family. Heard the fire whistle go off and said that, since my neighbor's going out to help everyone else, I better, help my neighbor as well. So he joined the fire department in 1961, and we're actually in the Milan Fire Department. I wanted to correct you before, and I just didn't get the chance to. My dad joined. Now, this is my mother's father. My dad joined in 1976. My mother joined in 79 and became one of the first interior female firefighters in New York State in 1983. Fast forward down the road, I got it in 2006. My brother joined shortly after I did, and my baby sister shortly after that.
That's right. I'm going to cut you off just now because the qualifying's on. If you want to go qualify, and we'll come back and finish this conversation. We don't want to give you a bad starting spot, buddy.
All right. Yeah, sure. Let me just throw a couple laps down.
Yeah, okay, you go do that. That's amazing, Joe. That whole family. I'm not a first responder, but my stepfather, my original father died when I was 2. But my mom remarried, and my stepfather he was a volunteer fireman for 32 years, his father, my grandfather, was the chief of and started the fire department in Stony Creek in the 30s, and my grandmother was the dispatcher. And between the three of them, they had 100 years of service.
Wow!
And that's pretty cool. But then I see what Tom's family. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, there's like 6 of them, or I think so. They probably got 200 years going, man.
Well, it's like I was saying, my wife, she took the EMT, course, went and passed the, North Carolina State EMT exam. Actually got her, her certification, so she is an actual registered EMT. She could actually help and all. It's not a career that she pursued on in because it is a tough career, and obviously she started at a kind of an older age and whatnot. But she wanted to do it because it's something else she was passionate about, and that's the thing I got to look at is these people. That excuse me, that is not a very easy job by no means. You've got to be very passionate about it. Firefighter, EMT, even a police officer. I'm going to really say nowadays, being a police officer, you better be passionate about what you're doing, especially with everything going on. But those jobs to me are something that I feel people that do them really love it and enjoy it. They want. The first thing I think you hear a lot of is we want to help people. We want that's our number one thing, and that is awesome. You hear it with nurses, doctors, etc. But that's cool. So to hear any family members out there that do things like that, and to hear somebody like Tom right there, to have his whole family do it, that's phenomenal. I mean,
yeah, you were born into the sickness.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you, but my hat's off to anybody who does. Like I said to me, my wife has done it, and she went and she saw what the work it takes and involved, and like I said, the first thing you hear a lot of from any of those folks is they're passionate about what they do, and I think that's the number one thing, and I think that's why they like helping people, and that's why a lot of people are appreciative of it.
Yeah, well, thank you is not a term that we hear all that often, especially stateside. A lot of times we get taken for granted, and every now and again you do get the thank you, and when you do hear it, it kind of chokes you up a little bit. Like,
definitely. I thank them, absolutely.
When I saw heat number 3 in the heat races in the sprint cars, and I got choked up, and I thank you guys.
We can't say enough about that. We can't say enough about you guys. Races are starting, but this is an important discussion, and can't thank you enough. And we wanted to recognize, too many people are getting abused. We know there's some, there's good and bad in everything. The bad are being highlighted, but my God, there's so many good people and putting their life on the line. And we can't thank you enough, buddy. Thank your family for us, and appreciate everything you do. And and wish you good luck on the track today.
Well, I'm going to need all of it.
There we go. Well, we're in heat race number 1. You're going to see Tom out there probably later on or sometime tonight trying to see if he can wheel one of these big block modifieds around this track here at Cedar Lake. We got Gary Taylor heat race 1, and that's kind of a difference. You're not hearing me say A&J Custom Creations or all the other ones out there tonight because all the heat races have been sponsored by none other than our own first responders here in the league, and Gary Taylor is sponsoring the heat race number 1 here tonight. Roger?
Yeah, Gary Taylor, 34 years of service. He retired as a captain with the Hamilton and Dundas fire departments, and I know he gave a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and it still affects those guys emotionally, even years later, and just can't thank him enough for everything he's done. He's a great human being. I know that personally. But heat number 1 here, we got some great runners, man, tonight. This is a great division. Jeff Barker and Patrick Malte, and I think Patrick drives either a mod light or a modified in real life. So, and he runs a PMD wraps. We'll give him a shout out as well. And then we got the young gun there, starting on the inside of row 2, Aiden Young, on the outside, AJ Albreda, and then he was in the booth with us, and now he's strapped up in the car. John Hine, Dan McLaren, Lance Ripka, and I'm in the session, but I'm in the booth. So I try to stay for the booth, Joe.
Sometimes that's what I say. That's why I choose to be up here. I'm with you on that one. So, John said earlier he's a one-car guy. So let's see how he does in this big block modifieds here tonight. Remember the top 4 go to the feature, folks, as it's been all night long. Gary Taylor Heat Race 1 about to be underway. Patrick Molte right there out front. Jeffrey Barker sitting in second. Like I said, I'm going to say AJA because that last name still just throwing for a loop. But I don't know. Can John get up out of that top 4? What you think there, Roger?
I don't know, but if you get a chance to get an angle, he's got some attribute stuff on the back side panels there. So
if I can't get a shot, might be able to from him. Lance is going to have to get close. I can't get a close enough shot to it. So
yeah, you might get it as it goes by, but it's a tribute to the first responders, and I want to thank Preston from Epsilon Sprint Wraps for getting that updated for him, and for John for carrying it.
Awesome. As always, these guys right there definitely looking pretty good. As Lance Ripka right there along with it, John Hine, the professor. That's what he calls himself. There it is. Thank you. On the side. There's a good shot. As the slider right there on the side. You can see it. Looks like a shield right there on the side. Thank you to the responders, first responders.
Yeah, it was nice of John to put the car on its side to show you that.
Yeah, there we go. Nice looking move. AJ out front leading it here so far. Jeffrey Barker, though, right there. He's got his hands full with Patrick Molte right there behind him. You got John Hine. We just said, can he move up into the 4th place? He's been looking and chomping at the bit all night long for these big blocks because he thinks he's got the car that might be able to pull this thing off. And right now looks good up there on that cushion. Here comes Aiden Young back to the inside. Aiden Young's falling off a little bit, though.
Yeah, there's a real good run for that last transfer spot there between Hine and Young. They're on the same team.
Yep. Young actually got the 4th place right there from John Hine. John's falling off now. You got Lance Ripka to the inside of him. As you see Dan McLaren up there in the 7th place spot. So again, John outside looking in 5th. He's hoping maybe those guys in front of him get together just a little bit and kind of collide, and that'll help him get some momentum because right now he's outside. He'd hate to have to run the alphabet. Now in this one, we might only just have a B main, right? And right there's the opening he wanted. He got up to the 4th. Patrick Molte got up into the wall. White flag, one more time out here. So that, Roger, right there is the opening that John Hine needed. He's solidly in 4th place. Lance Ripka's there. Going to try to take a dive into turns 3 and 4. Not going to get it done as John's going to make it to the feature. I don't know who that was flipping upside down, but AJ wins it. Wow. Good run there for our heat race number 1.
Yeah, and I think, Joe will make heat race number 2 a tribute to Tom Gom. So he's got the pole for this one. And we already just discussed everything about his family. Absolutely amazing. And, gained me.
You want to switch the heat races between the 2?
Yeah, just switch instead of Aiden Young. We'll make this one for Tom Gom because Tom is on the pole for this. So
Tom Gom, heat race 2.
Yeah. And just amazing fella, and I got a ton of respect for him and his family, that's for sure. Tom's on the pole, and we got Robert Schaefer on the outside of row 1. Then from Raleigh, North Carolina. How far are you from Raleigh, Joe?
Well, about 2 hours away.
Okay, the Field Miller, that's where he calls home. And Kyle Parker in New York State, starting 4th. He's always a top runner in these cars. And then we got the Iron Man, G.J. Boydell, and the mayor of Clarence, Iowa, Stephen Bixler, and in 7th. And see how he can do. He's an awesome sprint car driver, Donovan Ross from Washington State.
And it looks like Donovan and Robbie did not grid up. So one car's going home. G.J.'s in the backside there, outside looking in. So 2 cars didn't. Say where Field Miller is from again.
Raleigh. Is it Raleigh or Raleigh?
I thought that's how we say Raleigh. That's what.
Okay, there you go.
So we say Raleigh, but I was like, I gotta hear him say that again. I gotta hear him say it one more time.
Stephen Roy and Stephen Waugh.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just wild, man, just to see. So just the difference in translations there. I like that. It's awesome. But Tommy Gone right there out front. He is leading this one. Kyle Parker, though, sitting in second. Now, Kyle, he should feel a little bit more familiar or a little bit more comfortable in this car. Because this car might be a little closer to what resembles his super late model as opposed to those 410 and 305 wing sprints that he's been struggling with the last several weeks.
Yeah, he's not, and he'll say that himself. He's not a sprint car driver first. He's the big body guys, and these cars are run a lot in New York State. The other interesting thing, Joe, is Kyle Parker won last week, won the feature, but he was driving the 358, not the big block. So, wonder what he's driving here tonight.
I thought it was big block.
Well, they have a choice in this league now, in this division now. They can run.
So now you got to fill me in when you're saying a choice. I thought there was only one big block.
No, well, there's the big block and the small block. So there's the 358 and then the big block modified. And in real life, they do run in the races together. And depending on the track, sometimes the 358 obviously doesn't have the power, but the maneuverability on a smaller track. And Kyle Parker proved that. Unfortunately, in iRacing, you can't tell what they're racing. It was only after the fact that I found out Parker was running
that's interesting. That's something I'm going to have to get into. I did not know that in real life, because I'd be like, why in the world would you want to even go in the big block? Right there, Kyle Parker put the slides out on the inside of Tom. As it moved him back in the third, he's still in the show. G.J. Boydell's hanging on the final transfer spot there in fourth, as Stephen Bixler, unfortunately, is around in the grass. Not the night he wants to see, but up front, Phil Miller giving Kyle Parker everything he can handle. But as the checker flag's out, Parker's going to win it. G.J.'s going to come home in fourth, and that is interesting. I didn't know that about it. I figured when they said big blocks, it's just one big block. I knew they had the 358. But I thought it was different, like the 305, 360, and the 410. I mean, obviously, they're all wing cars. They definitely don't put them on the track at the same time. And that's what I thought with this here was 358's one division, big blocks the next division. But nonetheless, we're going to Aiden Young, heat race number 3.
Yeah, and starting on the pole, one of the top dogs, and Justin Sick, iRacing Photos, Justin Sick. And he's from New York State. And then we got Bam Bam. I'm always thinking of the Flintstones when I hear that. But you got to go and check out his with those tractor pull things. I mean, we're talking monster tractor pullers. It's great. Awesome. And then we got Nick Vickery and Jeff Kemper, Chase Hess and Andrew Smith, and Preston Cranmer is admitting. I don't think he was supposed to be in the booth with us, but we fell short of a race official. So he had to stay out on the track. So it's just you just got me, Joe, to deal with. That's a challenge in itself.
That's cool. Well, it should be good here, man. Old Justin out there early on was talking. Good to see him out here tonight. He's out going to start it here for Aiden Young heat race number 3 here tonight, folks. If you're just tuning in, it's been a good show tonight. We've had the 305, the 410 wing sprints. Now we got these big block modifieds out here. All tonight for the Icon Sim Sports Hometown Heroes. It runs week in and week out. And, we always have something special on each Hometown Hero. And tonight is we're giving tribute to the first responders. So if you've got a family member or if yourself is a first responder, let us know in the chat. I know earlier on Dustin out there mentioned, he said, love the racing. I'm a volunteer firefighter from upstate New York, and he's youngest in his department. So love hearing stories from that. It's not just the drivers. I mean, and I know we got a lot of them, but definitely the viewers out there, because I've always said, one viewer, a million viewer. I appreciate and thank each and every one of you taking time to come and watch the show here, and I hope you enjoy it. Hit the likes and shares out there. Really appreciate it. Let's get set to go green.
And again, we got some good runners in this one.
Green flag.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Pace trucks in on Majors. We've seen him all night long. Get it done on the track. He's up our battle along side by side, door to door with Sick. Down there, I think it looks like Majors is going to take it high. He's got the lead for so far. Justin tried to go to the inside, maybe put a slider on, wasn't able to do it. A little bouncy down on the bottom. Nicholas Vickery hanging on to third. Kemper up there in the fourth place spot. Hess outside looking in for the moment, though.
Yeah, they're they're spreading out, but that fourth spot, it could get exciting as those the fifth and sixth are starting to pull up a little closer.
Yeah, they are. You got Chase Hess right there. He would love to get up there, get a little closer, get that fourth place spot. In the meantime, the battle's on for the lead, and Nicholas Victory's actually closing in on the leaders. As you saw right there, Justin Sick, though he actually lost a little momentum on Majors up front, had to get out of probably get out of the throttles a little bit. That allowed Victory to get onto the back end of him. So something that you don't want to do, and actually Kemper's closing in, so the top four's kind of squeezed in a little bit. Can Hess get up there, man, and mix it up and maybe try to sneak into the show?
Bam Bam's still out in the lead, and he was on the podium earlier tonight, but this is his favorite car, is the dirt modified, so this is where he thrives.
Yes, it is. Right now you see Victory right now. Good shot from the hood here. Shows you what he's seeing kind of as he's hanging on to that kind of middle high groove of the cushion. Not quite up there at the top side yet. He goes low in there in that turn as it's kind of sneaking up underneath Justin Sick. White flags out one more time here. I don't know. Can Justin get a little run coming off the turn? He's going to peek and see if he can. Final time, 3 and 4. I think Majors has got the run off the turn, and he does. But Chase Hess, though, jumps up the fourth right there. Gets that last final transfer spot.
Yeah, that was a great run, and Sick made a really good attempt there at trying to get that podium, the first place there.
Puts us in our heat race number 4. Stephen, I'm saying Roy, you're saying Woy,
Wah.
Yeah,
that
forget.
doesn't make sense. I know.
I forget, but either way, hey, we appreciate Steve nonetheless. I mean, folks, there we go.
So, and if you watch that little video we play at intermission, Steven is on there, and it's hard to it just rolls, But I got like 50% in grade 12 for French, so I struggle. Bam Bam, his English is much better than my French. I got a lot of respect for those guys.
Oh man, me too. I got a hard enough time with English than let alone trying to do French.
Buddy.
Come on.
Me too. But yeah, Stephen Waugh is with the Victoriaville Fire Department and in Quebec, Canada, and he's also we've talked about it. He's driving a 360 car this year. We wish him all the best, and I'm hoping to see him on the track live. Can't wait to see him out there.
I know you were saying earlier before we get to green that y'all had a little step back. Fortunately for us down here in the NC state and most of the states, we've opened back up. A lot of the venues are getting opened back up. I know that the 4-wide nationals down here in Concord, North Carolina, was a big drag racing event. I don't know if a lot of people's heard it because they have the dirt track right beside of it. They have the drag strip, and then they have the actual NASCAR track there in the Charlotte Motor Speedway. But the 4-wide nationals are going to allow a lot of fans to come into there. So I heard that maybe up there in the Canadian area, Canada, that had a little setback or so forth, unfortunately.
On the East Coast, the Atlantic provinces are actually starting to open up, and at the same time, Ontario, and especially with the high population areas that we have, Toronto and areas like that, we got about 13 million in the Golden Horseshoe area. It's that population density that's so we're on another lockdown for 28 days. So more iRacing.
Hey, there you go. I mean, that's why we got the virtual world here, and it's a good race so far. It's with green flag out front. Daniel Blau, he's got that thing looking good. Troy Stewart made a move in the middle. They got him up to second right there around Chris Steele and Zach Chapman, who is hanging on to the 4th place spot, and that's where the battle is right there. Barry Goldner sitting in the 5th place spot, Brendan Lacey, though. Lacey and Weeks did not grid up for this one, so hopefully they get out there for the main and try to run that to get into the feature tonight. Battle's on for second. You got Chris Steele and Troy Stewart right there swapping positions.
Yeah, and I hope Lacey and them make it, because Lacey always he's a top dog and always puts on a good show.
Yes, he does. Right there, Daniel Blau Steele. He's walking off into the moonlight tonight. Looking good, and that big block machine he's got is behind him. You've still got a battle on for second, third. Chris has now moved back into third. He's got Chapman moving in on him slowly but surely. And we'll see if Chapman's going to see if he wants to get the 3rd place spot. As right now, Goldner, he's there. He just can't close in, and that might open the door up for Barry Goldner. Never mind, he'd clobbered him. But then he was able to. Troy Stewart wrecking. Wow, what a turn of events in the last lap.
Yeah.
Let's watch and see if actually, actually he's going to hang on to it. Goldner's going to hang on to the fourth place transfer spot. Stewart, just like that, outside, going to have to run the main.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Stewart. But my boy Barry Goldner, he's, that's Steve's dad, and I'm always pulling for the old guys. You know that, Joe.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. That brings us in to our B main. And all night long, we've had C and B mains. We've got a B main here tonight with our SBGC 3D printing, folks. If you've not checked out SBGC3D.com, check them out. They will definitely get you hooked up with a lot of great 3D prints. We'll see some of the work later on here. We've seen it all night long. But those guys at SBGC 3D printing and SBGC3D.com, go check them out. As our B main underway.
So before we do that too, it is the SBGC 3D B main, but let's also make it a tribute to all of those first responders who have sacrificed their lives to protect all of us. We didn't have a Heat 5, so we'll do it now, and I'll announce the lineup in just a minute. Let's just pause here while these guys are going around. Okay, as they come around for their last pace lap, we got Lance Ripka and Steve Bixler on the front row, followed by Jeff Kemper, Troy Stewart, Patrick Malte, Rob Schaefer, Andrew Smith, Brendan Weeks, Dan McLaren, and I don't think Donovan and Brendan made the cut. So
a lot of them didn't hear Roger. It looks like Robert, Brendan, Dan, Donovan, and Brendan Lacey.
And you know what? They just had to show up because all 7 will transfer. We were going to take 8 from this.
Wow. So I hate to see that there, but like you said, 8 are going to go from this one.
But there's only 7 in the race.
There's only 7 in the race, yeah.
So all they had to do is grid. They were going to qualify for the feature.
Wow. So unfortunate right there. So Stephen Bixler hanging on to 6th place. Up front, got a good battle happening here around 3rd and 4th. I always say, since these guys know that, there's kind of a tune-up session for them here to see what their cars will do, what maybe they need to change on their setups and whatnot to get ready for the feature. You got Kemper hanging on the 3rd. I'll tell you right there, sitting in the 4th, Andrew Smith up top in the 5th place spot. So that's a good battle between those guys. Meantime, Lance Ripka is out front leading it.
Yeah, and like you say, this is a good chance to sort the car out. The track is very close to what it's going to be for the feature, and some of these guys, they haven't seen the track since the first heat, so good chance to work it in.
As you see right now, battles on for around about 3rd and 4th place. You got Kemper there. You got Motte, Andrew Smith trying to move into it, so kind of a 3-car battle for the moment. It's actually Troy Stewart. Remember, he got caught in that wreck early on. I guess good and bad news for him. Bad news, he got pushed out. Could have had an easy seat going into the feature. The good news is here he's definitely going to get into the feature. So, sometimes better to have a little luck than no luck.
That's for sure. And but he's driving pretty clean here, and just making sure that they're going to finish and keep the car together for the feature.
Absolutely, and you're just seeing what lane might work too right now, trying to, is the middle lane good, the low lane, is the top coming in with that cushion. They have not pushed that cushion up too far, so not a lot of guys so far tonight with these big blocks have moved up too high. We'll have to see if the feature actually, and right there, Kemper going around on the white flag, that's going to put him back in the 6th place spot, so I know he's probably going, dodged the bullet there. So he probably would have been out of this one if all the other machines would have been there. So just like that, how things can change on the dirt track. Lance Ripka coming out of the turn. He's going to win it here for our B main tonight. And that puts us in our warm-up, folks. And I tell you, all night long it has been an outstanding race and an outstanding event here as our Icon Sim Sports intermission. Check them out at Icon Sim Sports. I've always said that, if you're looking for a rig, and I know there is a multitude of choices out there, but if you're looking for one-of-a-kind chassis that is built for you and you only, and will make you feel like you're actually just in a real race car, it's a custom style fit, check them out at Icon Sim Sports. They will definitely get you hooked up. We got GForce Racing League here tonight. We can sit talk about that for the longest time. But I tell you what, go to GForceRL.com and you will get a world of information there to tune you in on what's going on in the GForce Racing League. Justice Sick, iRacing Photos, Drivers of the Week. Want to appreciate him coming on board. And as always, we're live here tonight on the GForce Esports on YouTube, where you can catch all the action here on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. What's going on in the GForce Racing League. But tonight we're also on a multitude of platforms because it's just been a very outstanding night for our hometown heroes here for the Icon Sim Sports and our first responders here. I definitely tribute to them as we're here with those our network on Facebook and YouTube and iRacing Live. But been a good one so far. These guys have put on a show all night long, Roger.
They sure have, and we've had incredible car counts, and this one is a little bit limited because it is just the Mod A division, so it's not open to everybody. That's, Joe, why we moved the 410s forward, because everybody can run the 305s and the 410s, so it meant guys wouldn't have to wait around if we would run the mods. We originally had them scheduled to run second, but realized that there's some guys can't run it. They'd be waiting around for the next race, so we just thought we'd bunch those first two up and bring these guys out for the end.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, folks, I'll tell you what, for a quick minute, let's walk away. We're going to see a video real quick on a lot of we've seen it some tonight, but if you're new and just tuned in, these are a lot of the first responders that are here, a lot of the drivers in the league. So we'll be right back. Let's let you hear this kind of a tribute video to those guys. All right, folks, we're back here, and hope you enjoyed that. A little tribute video there to the first responders. Roger has ran down to see if he can't get up with one of the drivers here in the league, Steven Bixler, and Roger seems like you got a hold of him.
I'm out of breath running all the way down there. But we got the mayor of Clarence, Iowa, population 957. I'm not sure what it is these days.
And that's the real mayor of Clarence, Iowa.
Yeah, the real. Yeah, Steve Bixler. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How you guys doing up there in the booth?
We're doing great. I've been enjoying some great action all night long, and you're starting, looks like we're about P21, P20.
Yeah, I'm quite a ways back. I'm in a different zip code than these guys up front, but we'll see what happens.
Well, Steve is he's a retread, so I'm always pulling for all my elderly buddies. So anyways, good luck, Steve. And do you have a strategy?
Well, I'd just like to stay on the same lap because these guys are pretty good. So we'll see what happens, but I'll try and make the retreads proud. How's that, Roger?
We're pulling for you, buddy. I'm pulling for you all the way. You're my favorite, so I won't put money on you, but I'm pulling for you.
Money on myself either.
Good luck, buddy.
All right, thanks, guys.
There we go. Our Steve Bixler definitely could be a guy here tonight that could pull this thing off.
So him and Steve Maurer, who does, we haven't seen too much of Steve Maurer, but we see him on the matinee races, and then a young Blake Chapman. They're all from Clarence, Iowa, and they're only a short drive from Knoxville Speedway. So we're hoping to hook up with all those guys sometime this summer once things open up.
There we go. We'll feature time tonight here. Big Block Modifieds here for the Icon Sim Sport Hometown Heroes, and this is the Icon Sim Sport feature here, folks. We just said check them out at iconsimsports.com. If you look for a good rig out there, who we got?
I'll tell you who we don't have. Do you notice somebody not in the lineup tonight?
Look.
The mayor of Cedar Lake, Lane Snook.
Lane?
Yeah, he's
well,
not
you
in.
know, he and I mentioned that earlier on, that maybe the big blocks was not something that. But then again, does he normally run the big blocks?
No, I don't think he would run B division maybe, but hasn't been running it regularly. So even if he ran it regularly, he'd be there. He's always a good runner.
Yeah. So it might be it's a car that he just doesn't feel comfortable with. Yeah. Hey.
Well, we're gonna have a new winner here tonight, But I think we might be looking at the first few rows. On the pole, we got AJ Albreda, and on the outside, the guy I'm gonna pick, Kyle Parker. He's just been dominant. Can't eliminate Bam Bam Major, Fred Flintstone in that on the inside of row 2, and on the outside Dan Blau. Now he'll be looking to run low. Dan usually he's a low runner, so see what he does. And then behind him Jeff Barker, another guy that runs on the low side with Field Miller. And then we got Justin Sick, Chris Steele, Hayden Young, Tommy Gom. I'm pulling for Tom just because of everything going on tonight. And Nick Vickery, Zach Chapman, John Hines starting a little bit back. Boydell, Hess, Goldner, and take it away, Joe.
Get set, green flag. Here we go. Feature time tonight. Big Block Modifieds. AJ out front. We've seen him out front most of the night. Here you got Kyle Parker, and I've mentioned earlier that Kyle, this car kind of probably suits him better than what those winged sprints did earlier on, because this is kind of a close to the late models. We got a huge wreck in the back though that involves a lot of machines. Let's go back here out there. Actually, I started back here with Zach Chapman, I believe. Go back on the Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened. See Chapman there. I don't know if he was the one. Oh, a car in front of him just got tagged. That was the 677 of actually Field Miller. And Chapman nowhere to go, so we'll watch it one more time real quick. Field was actually up front there too, so see him right here. Looks like a little checkup in front of him. There's just nothing to do, kind of a chain reaction from there. And then he just got flipped end over end on the track.
Yeah, that's a helpless feeling, when you got nowhere to go and you see the guy turning in front of you. It's just like, there's nothing you can do.
Absolutely. Kyle right there in second, I've said it, this car here probably, it resembles, he might be a little comfortable in it because it kind of resembles what he's used to. Those late models, you see him race them on Friday nights a lot, and he won last week in the super late models. So this car here being big motor, it's not a body style car, so definitely maybe a little more comfortable than what he's been. We talked about it earlier in the heat race, and we saw how well he did there. But sprint cars, we was just talking about Lane Snook maybe not liking certain cars. Kyle the same way. Certain cars just doesn't really. And these guys don't wait on the pace truck back out, run over. You see AJ and Kyle, and I think AJ knew that he had to get going. Got to get a good jump because Kyle is right there on his back end trying to see if he can't get that lead. Behind him though, you've got Daniel Blau, Majors, Jeffrey Barker, and Justin Sick. All those guys in a single file lane.
Yeah, and you were saying about the bigger engine, but he may be running he won this feature last week running the smaller block engine, so it'd be interesting to know what he's got in there.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that earlier, and I was kind of surprised with that. I figured it was a big block, but There are different styles of the 358, and then there's the big block himself. 3-wide race going on back here. Justin Sick, John Hine right there. You've got Jeffrey Barker and company. Well, these guys have got a good race happening around about that 8th and 9th place spot. They're tagging and everything on each other.
Yeah, there's been some bumping and banging at the back, and that's one thing. These cars can take a little bit of side banging for sure.
I love it too. You get out there, you do a little trade paint, short track racing on the dirt. Chase S right there, Aiden Young, Barry Goldner and company along with it. You got Patrick Motte along with them, Andrew Smith, Barry Goldner. So you got a lot of action just all over the track.
Yeah, and keeping my eye on John Hine, he's moved up. I think he started 13th or 15th, and he's up to 9th.
Running that low line right there. Yeah, I think he's up. Yeah, he's up to. Yeah, he's right there in 9th. He's got Aiden Young on his top side. Chase S right there with him. So he's trying to defend him off a little bit. And he's trying to get up underneath Jeffrey Barker if he can. And he's running a low line here. We've seen a couple guys early on with some of the other cars run the low line. In the meantime, AJ is up here trying to defend off Kyle Parker.
It's a great battle at the front. They've checked out on the rest of the field, unless there's another caution. They're going to be lapping cars, and they're coming up to lap cars, and this could get interesting now.
Once they get to the lap cars, I've always said it on short tracks. It's the same thing with like Bristol. Once you get around, or the leader gets around lap cars, you don't get out of lap machines. You're there pretty much the whole entire, well, until there's a caution like this right here. And the caution's out. But usually it ends up with danger lurking at every corner from that point on. But definitely a caution's going to slow that down. You see Patrick Motte. Ouch. Good spin job he did there, though.
I was picking Parker, but the other thing we should note is the first night that AJ Albrighta came into the league, it was when we had 3 divisions of dirt modifieds, and he ran the ladder. He went from the C division to the B division to the A division that night. So he won the first 2. I don't think he won the third one, but yeah, he definitely belongs in this division, and he's a top runner. So it's going to be a good show, and see if Bam Bam can keep up with them.
Albrighta is how you say his name?
That's how I've been saying it,
Albrighta.
Right.
I mean, and I apologize, AJ, if I'm saying it wrong. I apologize. Hey, you're fast.
Are you saying Albrighta?
Albrighta. I'm just saying AJA. Yeah.
I think we're going to get a chance to find out what it really is at the end of this race.
Well, and I think tonight's not been a lack of speed. It's just, he's been caught up on some mishaps all night long. He has definitely had the speed to be out front and win some races here tonight. And I think we've seen that spark here from him. So again, everything might come to full view here for him. In this race with the big block modifieds, as the green flag flies, he's out front. Kyle Parker gets away. Francis Majors there in third. Well, you got a slew of machines, though, behind them. Daniel Blau, Vickery, Sick, Barker, all those guys. Most of them, though, are up top right now.
It looks like the bottom's coming in, though. More and more guys, it looks like, are starting to run that low line as well.
Absolutely. Once they get that low line going, you might see a 2-groove style track here. Let's see as the race goes on. Good 3-wide battle happening right there around where Jeffrey Barker and Chase Hess is. Aiden Young and company. We was talking about John Hine hanging on to the 9th place spot. Spot. I'll get it right, folks. It's been a long night. Sometimes the words runs into each other. But it's been a good one so far. These guys are as close as they are here, Roger. They're being pretty patient.
They are. And Parker, I know, son, the 3 and 4 starting to use the slider line. And I think he's just catching up a little bit here.
Who was that we were talking about last race? You were down doing the admin, and me and John was talking about. I think it was I can't remember. I think it was Gary. It might have been. He was doing the slider line. He was 1 and 2. He was going down low. 3 and 4. He was using the slider line at this track, and it was working out very well for him early on in the 410 wing sprint. So maybe something they learned with these, because actually going from the 410 to this, besides being maybe I'm going to say a little heavier, it can't be that much heavier, well, it might be, but and a full-bodied car, the horsepower should be on par with each other, shouldn't it?
Well, yeah, I would think so. I'm just watching here, like these guys have pulled like a 5-second lead out on the rest of the pack. It's just, you know, they're putting on their own private show.
3.5-second lead right now over Daniel Blau and company there. So you're right, they're pulling away from the top guy. So yellow flag, Andrew Smith. All for naught. Yep. Andrew Smith, unfortunately, is going to Malcolm Mills replay. See what happened to Andrew here. All alone right now, and then he just gets somebody that just sticks their nose right up under the back end of him there, and he goes flipping down front stretch.
It's so hard, you know, when the guy in front of you starts losing it, and you're behind him, and you've really got to kind of drive like literally around him, because if you just catch that right corner that's already spinning, you just touch it, he's gone. And you know, a lot of times it's not deliberate. It just happens. It's a racing deal.
You know, and I've talked. You know, obviously drivers are going to get mad. Hey, it's your fault, that fault, et cetera. But I'm with you on a lot of things here. You're already out of control, and it doesn't take much for a driver in front of you. It not so much like you said. Even, you know, we know might check up because they're braking line or what they do, but lose momentum because the car might bog going into the dirt and not slide. And it only takes just a little bit of uptick on the or a little downtick on the speed, and that car behind you, boom, is right there in your back. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, unless you just got reflexes faster than a cat. I mean, it happens.
Well, yeah, and if you're on that low line, the bouncing is just like absolutely incredible. And guys like Jeff Barker and that, they say like that's the way it is in the real car. And I've heard a lot of people say they nailed it on that, like the feel of the car. But if you go down low, any of those little ruts, you're literally just bouncing, the wheels shaking. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think a lot of these guys on the dirt side say if they can get a tire model to it, they'd have something perfect out here on the dirt side. Like you said, those bumps definitely will upset these machines a lot. And my hat's off has always been the dirt track racers. You know, driving sideways, battle for the lead. Parker almost tried to put a slider on the inside there of AJ. He looked for the moment. AJ right now, he's got that top side on that cushion. He is hanging that out right there. Kyle's going to change his line. Yeah, he's going to try it, but just can't get that momentum to get off the turn.
I think he's got like one good shot at this. He's got to work the next couple of laps to just get him right in the position to throw that slider, be right on top of him, and and get the pass.
I'm with you on that, and I think he also needs to be a lot closer than what he is going into 1 and 2. If he can get close to him and stay right there on his bumper at 1 and 2, and then throw that slider going into 3 and 4, I think he's going to make it complete. The problem is he loses so much ground going into 1 and 2, and then he has to complete the process going into 3 and 4. So it's kind of a round around the circle type of thing for him. But if he gets close enough, I'm with you on that one. He's got a couple cars in the back. Looks like Francis Majors is a big one.
We got a caution here, Joe. With it's going to be a great white checker. This is going to be now. Albrida or AJ has been getting great jumps on the start. Now that's Parker's going to have to be a little quicker on the reflexes to make sure he eliminates that, because Albrida every restart I've noticed he pulls away. Literally, so this is going to be interesting, man.
I'm with you on that one. I mean, but we just watched the replay there, the Malcolm Mills replay, and Francis Majors just got, again, 2 cars coming together on the track. Luckily, he did not lose much position there. He's able to get him back and out there and letting another car know, hey, look, like what you did. But I'm with you on this one, what you just said right there, Roger. Kyle's got to do what he needs to do, but AJ has got to get another jump like he's been all night long.
Yeah, it's been a great battle, but it's been AJ all the way. So it's going to be the start here. If Parker can be right on, because he's got, like you said, he's got to be right there going into turn 3 to do that slider on him.
He does. Here we go. Essentially green-white checkered for the dirt here tonight. Pace truck lights are off, and AJ wastes no time. And the bad thing is, there's a good and bad side to this, is AJ with that single file gets that good jump on him. And Oh, Parker's in the wall. Are you kidding? He just got up into the wall. Yellow flag is out. Let's go back. We were watching him live there, but let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay real quick. Parker just slung it into the turn and caught the wall, and it just drove up on the kind of the apron right there, and unfortunately backed up wrong time. But
no, I've done that. I've done that, Joe, and you've always accused me of going to the concession stand.
Well, yeah, I mean he was trying to. He saw a guy eating a hot dog in the stand there and figured he got hungry.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate because he is running.
But you got the Pabst Blue Ribbon car, so you're already drinking.
Yeah, there you go.
See, that's just the difference. Roger's always running the Pabst Blue Ribbon. We don't know if in the pits, man, he's got a 6-pack before he gets into that thing. So there we go. He could have him a cup holder beside of him while he's racing.
Just listen to this, Joe. Everybody, I'm not driving tonight.
Oh, look, he's also got him a little 6-pack. You can see if you had a VR, you see a little virtual cup holder off to the side. There you go, folks. Oh man. Well,
now, Blau runs slow here, so it might be a different kind of a race for Blau looking at. He might be trying to catch him low.
He might too. AJ gets another good jump though. Blau right there behind him. If they get to that white flag, I've always said, doesn't matter what happens, they can kill themselves on it. Kyle Parker crashing again. Oh, Kyle just one way. White flag won't matter. This race is over with. Can AJ hang on to it for one final time? We go back to the back here around third place, though. Nicholas Victory, he's got Justin Sick. Sick tried to go low, wasn't able to hang on to it. AJ's going to win it here tonight for the big block modifieds. Daniel Blau comes home in second. Nicholas Victory comes home in third.
Yeah, Justin Sick made a good try. I think he got caught up on the tires there.
He did.
Yeah, because I thought he might get that move. And AJ's putting on a little show here on the front straight.
Nice. That is awesome. Well, we're going to get a word with these guys here tonight. It's been a good one so far all night long. Nicholas coming home there in third. Got Daniel coming home in second, and AJ right there in the third, in the first place spot, winning it. And like you said, we're gonna find out how he says his last name.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out because. So you're okay. How are you saying it?
Albreda.
Well, that's what I've been saying, Albreda.
Well, I mean, you sound right. That sounds right to me. What you're saying,
Yeah.
Albreda. Or Albreda? I mean,
yeah.
We'll
find out. But
yeah.
The question is, will we remember next week? That's
Yeah. Well, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and answer that one. Me, probably not. I'm gonna have to ask about another 10 times. I'll get it eventually. It's almost like Malte. I finally got him down pat. There we go. Third place man up here, Nicholas Victory.
Nicholas, you got a little bit of a gift from one of your teammates there.
Yeah, we I kind of saw him get into the wall, and then me and Blau, we just really didn't have anywhere to go, man. We were kind of playing follow the leader there in the top, and I really hated for him. He he was pushing hard, so.
Well, yeah, AJ kept getting those big jumps, and I think Kyle had to be close to him going into the 3 and 4 to try to slide him, and I think he's just giving it everything he had. It's unfortunate, but good on you. You get that P2 spot, so congratulations. And who do you want to thank along with your wrap company? You want to mention that, I'm sure.
Yeah. First off, Spartan Racing. We've got a good core group of guys. We all race together, spot for each other, and try to help each other out with setups and just the driving lines and especially in these cars with throttle control. Man, these cars are they're different from anything else on iRacing, in my opinion. Of course, VMR Wraps. It's a couple of us have put together a wrap company, and we're just starting out. So right now we're kind of practicing, on our teammates' cars, and then we're going to look to expand and try to start doing wraps for everybody else. But and then lastly, MIA. It's Miriam Majado Spa. It's one of my buddies who always watches the stream with his family. I definitely appreciate those guys. And then of course, my wife for letting me do this every night, and then you guys for putting on a great show.
And Joe's got to be kind of pumped having you in here, another North Carolina boy.
I know. I feel like our interactions are far and few between this season. Hopefully that'll turn around.
Well, congratulations, buddy, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. You'll be back in the mod days and can get that first spot.
Yeah, I'm chasing it. Thank you, guys.
Take care, buddy.
All right, bye.
We go. Nicholas Vickery, man, is always out there doing what he needs to do. Coming home in third. We got our second place man here, Daniel Blau.
Oh, how you doing tonight, sir? Good to talk to you. Been a while.
It has. How are you?
I'm doing really good, actually. Yeah, it's that was a fun race. That probably finished a little bit better than I should have. Took advantage of my teammate getting stuck in the wall there toward the end of the race, but I felt like I had a third or fourth place car, so just wanted to keep it in one piece and out of the other competitors.
I gotta ask real quick, where's the monkey at?
Had to retire the monkey now that with Spartan Racing and all the little sponsors that come along with the team, I had to make room for all the required logos, so I had to retire the monkey.
Oh, okay. And Roger, if you don't know, he used to run a monkey on his hood. Dog.
Yeah, I know. As long as he retired the monkey and didn't kill the monkey, we're all good with that.
No monkeys were harmed. He was just retired.
I guess we could say you got the monkey off your back tonight and got
Yes,
that podium spot.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was a fun race. Like I said, I didn't run the 305s earlier because I've had some not so great luck the first 3 weeks of the season, so I thought I'd just take the evening and use it to practice the big block here at Cedar Lake, and turned out good. It was a good choice. I didn't have to leave one race with my blood pressure spiked through the roof because I was upset at something, and got to come in with a fresh and clean conscience and just go race. It was fun.
Now, normally, Dan, you're always down near the bottom. Did you try that earlier tonight, or was it working at all?
I ran a couple 50-lap practice races and hosted sessions earlier, and I just couldn't run the bottom. I couldn't roll it like I need to, so I just stuck with the slider line through 3 and 4 and high up 1 and 2. And really, I mean, but you're right. I mean, I normally am a bottom feeder in all cars, but I'm starting to learn how to run the high line. I've lost so many races to guys running the high line because I couldn't run it. So I'm finally learning the throttle control and how to get into the corners. So I'm improving my game a little bit.
Yeah, I have noticed that. And good luck tomorrow night and Friday night, and I'll see you either in the cup cars or the pickups.
Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it, sir. I'd like to, before you cut me off here, I'd like to first and foremost thank my wife for letting me do this a couple nights a week, and Team Spartan, just a bunch of great dudes and help each other. And I have improved so much over the last 3 months joining Spartan Racing. Also, Milner Media Designs for the awesome wrap. Turn 5 Media, VMR wraps, do some of my wraps too. Got to give a shout out to our boys at Spartan Racing that are with VMR wraps. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again for the broadcast, guys, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Good luck, Dan.
Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it, sir. Take care, Joe. Good talking to you, sir.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a second place man, Daniel Blau, right there doing it. But this guy here, well, all right, we're about to settle something here. AJ, you pulled the win off, but our first question is, please let us know how to say your last name.
It's Albreda.
Oh, we win.
We got, there you go.
Yeah.
We got that one, Joe.
Hey, hallelujah. Because normally I know me, I'm way off in left field. So Albreda, awesome. Well, I tell you what, AJ, you've had speed all night long. Got caught up in some bad stuff, but was able to put it together here for the big blocks. Now, do you like the big blocks over the wing sprints?
Yeah, the big blocks are kind of my soiree, so to speak. I feel very comfortable in them. I'm a Northeast driver, so been around these things all my life, so it's always fun to get on iRacing and run them.
Oh, nice. I hear you right there. That is awesome to see, man, to come out here. You did some dominating. Were you a little worried with old Kyle back there, though, because he was putting some pressure on you?
Yeah, I kept glancing up at the black box there every couple laps, just kind of seeing where he was, and I saw he'd get a little bit closer and a little bit closer. Just kind of get a little nervous there, but I definitely had a fast car for sure, and I knew hopefully once it got more slick that I could just be able to ride the wall a little harder, and I was able to and keep together and stay out front.
Absolutely, and you did an outstanding job of it. What you got, Roger?
What do you run in the Northeast, AJ?
I work for a driver that runs big blocks and small blocks. So I've grown up around a lot of big name drivers ever since I was little from my father's sponsor, and so I've been around the whole deal all my life, and learning what they do in real life, and then coming in here to learn what they do in the game. It's pretty damn close.
Well, let me ask them, because I found something out tonight that I didn't know, because obviously you got 305, 360, 410 wing sprints, and they don't think, but Roger was to let me know that in here on iRacing, and I guess in real life too, but the big blocks, I thought big blocks are big blocks and 358s are 358s, two different separate cars, but they can run them same here on iRacing. Do they do that in real life?
Yeah, actually, the Short Track Super Series is a perfect example of that. They run big blocks and small blocks together, and it all depends on different classes. They can do open 358s, which is an open motor, so to speak. You don't have any rules on your 358 for that. Or you could run a spec 358 motor, which is the Super Dirt Series spec heads on the thing, on the motor, and it only allows you to put out so much horsepower.
Okay, so basically, when you're running that open one, you pretty much got a 358 that runs like a big block, essentially, because you could bring some horsepower. Hey, I tell you what, that is awesome, good knowledge to know as always, and it's good to know that we were getting the last name Albreda right there for you. But you pulled it off here tonight for the hometown heroes here, and it was a good one for the big block modifieds. You got anybody you want to thank for the win?
Yeah, I gotta thank TAD Excavating, man. They support me in all money races and stuff like that, help me and my race team on this game out. So that's a big thank you to them. I got to thank Rob Albreda, Snap-on Tools. My brother, he does awesome work with selling the tools and selling toolboxes. So if you ever need anything and you're in the New York area around Albany, hit him up. Got to thank all the first responders and the fans tonight for coming out. And I know it's first responders night, so got to thank all the men in blue, all the firefighters, EMTs, and everybody that goes out. And most importantly, got to thank my beautiful girl back home. She was watching tonight, so that's pretty cool to get done for her.
Absolutely. Get the win there. Something to celebrate going back home. As always, AJ, good to see it. And congratulations on that win tonight.
Thank you.
There we go. AJ, and we got the name right, Roger. Albright. Yeah. Awesome. Good. Yeah. Finally got a name right. Ain't that awesome?
It is awesome, and
that's a win for us.
It's a rare win for us. And just before we go, I just want to mention next week we got the throwback again. We got the Legends coming out, but we also got the 305s have a week off. We got the Pro Light trucks coming out here, so we call them the jumpy trucks. But there's no jumps on this track unless you hit those tires. But it should be a really good show. That they're always entertaining to watch, and it's same with the Dirt Legends. So and then we'll finish it up with the 410s. So looking forward to next week as well.
Ought to be an awesome one, and I've done one or two broadcasts with those trucks. Most of the ones I did, they did jumps, but they did do one at just a circular style oval dirt, and it's interesting to see. I actually seen them on the asphalt side too, so that ought to be interesting because they are a handful to handle. But tonight was a good one. Again, got to give a special thank you to all the first responders out there and all the league drivers here who are first responders out there, and all the viewers and everybody watching. For myself and Roger and everyone here at the GForce Racing League, everyone, have a good night.